Available in all states.
China has banned seafood from Japan after the Fukushima nuclear plant began its radioactive wastewater release into the Pacific.
The executive in charge of the radioactive water release, Junichi Matsumoto, said it will be a safe and gradual one. We will be continuing the release over the course of around 30 years. In response, Chinese customs authorities announced a ban of all seafood and aquatic products from Japan. In Beijing, local residents such as Lai and Dong told the AP they were disappointed by the move. This incident has affected my impressions of Japan. I'm Karen Chamas.
Firefighters are struggling against strong winds and hot, dry conditions to tame multiple wildfires that for days have burned forests and homes in northeastern Greece and on the fringes of the country's capital. The fires have left 20 people dead over the past week. News and analysis, townhall.com. A key part of Biden immigration policy will be taken up in a Texas federal court starting today.
Under the humanitarian parole program, up to 30,000 people each month are allowed to enter the U.S. from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. 21 Republican-leaning states, led by Texas, have filed a lawsuit to stop the program. They argue that the Biden administration has overreached its authority. The parole program was started in fall 2022 for Venezuelans. Then it expanded in January. People taking part must apply online, arrive at an airport, and have a financial sponsor in the U.S. If approved, they can stay for 2 years and get a work permit. I'm Donna Warder.
Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is due to speak tomorrow. He may offer a hint as to the future direction of interest rates. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The time will listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy almost Friday. Almost. So close.
It's like I can reach out and touch it. I can smell Friday from here.
Yes.
Friday smells delightful.
But it's Thursday. Although the rain thing last night, that was nice. It rained like
nice.
On and off almost all night. Like at least till bedtime. I remember like every few minutes I'm like, oh, it's doing it again. And then it kind of all of a sudden, wow, I hear it again.
Yep.
Oh, I hear it again. It was kind of in waves, at least at my house. I don't know. It was nice.
Yeah, it was. I rather enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. So I was watching the debate on Fox.
Oh, was that last night?
I did. I watched it. It was entertaining, if nothing else.
That's the one that Trump said he's stepping out.
Yeah,
right?
Trump wasn't at this one. He was doing his interview with Tucker Carlson, or I think they already did it. They were airing it at some place on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
On X.
And then they had the other debate with everyone else, and it was I don't know. It's
the field is widening.
Well, I would say some people came off well last night. Some did not.
I can't imagine that a Chris Christie is gonna shine moving forward.
No. Chris Christie's kind of to be honest. And this is not going to be popular, for people because people are going to disagree with me on this one, but because they politically they treat these debates like football games. It's they literally they everything about it is they take it right out of the playbook of NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball.
Sure.
I mean, even the Fox News imaging and everything about it is it looks like you're about to watch the Cowboys and the
they break out the skidoodle
and the Eagles playing on Sunday afternoon. That's what it looks like.
Here's a guy who's going to debate another guy.
And then they get a crowd full of people in there. And they're booing and cheering, and every time anybody says something, they're either cheering or booing or whatever. And then they yell at the crowd for cheering and booing.
Right.
And then the people try to talk, and they talk over each other. And I'm like, y'all set this up like a football game. And then when people act like they're at a football game, you get mad at them for treating it like a football game. Whose fault is that? And that's where I know a lot of people are, and get it. It's entertaining to watch.
Sure.
You're like, watch your popcorn. But if you're trying to learn stuff and actually,
it'd be like if Beef Supreme came out of his car and said, "You guys are being out of control."
Yeah, exactly. But so I'm like, look, y'all complain that this gets out of hand, but you guys set the parameters this way. Get people out of there. Yeah, it's not going to be as sexy on TV. But you know what? We're going to ask questions, we're going to learn answers, and we're going to find out without people interjecting their oohs or yays in between.
You mean the point of a debate?
Yes!
Oh!
That's the point that I don't get why people... I get it as far as entertainment. Yeah, I love watching them fight and,
Sure.
But if I really want to see that in my
There's a forum for that elsewhere.
I go to WCW on the other channel if I want. Because I'm like, I was thinking watching this debate, I was like, Sean and I are both watching wrestling.
We're just watching a bunch of people. Sean's just happened to be a little less dressed.
Yeah.
Sure. But that's just for freedom of motion.
Yeah.
Dude, like full disclosure, this weekend is actually, they've pulled off the highest grossing, most ticketed event in pro wrestling history.
Oh, wow.
That's AEW is, they sold 86,000 tickets for Wembley Stadium. That's like massive. WWE's never even touched that.
Okay, so we're not talking like WWF WrestleMania numbers.
No.
We're talking those were big numbers.
Those are big numbers. Well, here's the thing, and they famously they've come out and said they inflated those numbers.
Did they?
The 101 or whatever that you got at Dallas Stadium, I think it was like 92. That was everyone in the facility, everybody who was selling a hot dog, everybody who was working
employees, not
all
just
the wrestlers,
people coming to watch a game.
Yeah, that
was a match.
That was 101,000. But again, sold tickets, 86-something thousand tickets have been sold to Wembley.
Wow,
it's huge.
All those British people liking wrestling, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah,
I mean, do people come from all over? I'm good with Europe.
They might from other places, but
Americans aren't going over there.
What wrestling was to us in the 90s and early 2000s, it is to them to this day.
Okay.
They are fanatical.
Well, I know like parts of Asia, Japan, Japan always been huge wrestling people. I never thought much about it, certainly in Western Europe.
Right.
So it's interesting.
No, it's called the Brit wrestling scene. It's massive. Like it is a humongous thing.
All right.
They're super fans. So I'm genuinely curious how this weekend's going to play out.
Good deal.
I have to have somebody watch my kids on
86,000 people?
86,000.
7 teeth. Just kidding. That was an old
Fair
joke.
Play.
That was an old joke. It's like, what has 300 arms, 300 legs, and 7 teeth? Front row of Willie Nelson. Now we can say WCW wrestling match in London or wherever it's at. Oh, man. But, I watched that debate, and sure, it's entertaining, but did
you gain anything from it?
I don't know. Maybe.
Do you feel any differently about anyone that was on that stage?
I will say this. To a point, like, I won't say differently.
Do any of them stand a chance?
Like, yeah.
Against a convicted villain?
Well, I mean, I think, I liked what some of them said, obviously. The thing that, the theme I got from last night was Ramaswamy stirring pots.
Who?
His name is Ramaswamy.
I'm sorry, I could never vote for a guy named Ramaswamy.
Well, listen to him.
Without cracking a smile.
You might want to listen to him because he's a 38-year-old man that's not a politician.
I do admire the fact that there's somebody who's running that's not an octogenarian.
And he just basically took shots at the others last night.
Okay.
And because he has no political background, he has no track record to beat up. His track record is no track record, so that's how they attacked him. And he basically came in and said, "Look, he basically told them they're all bought and paid for, and that basically ticked them all off. And then so there was a moment where it was pretty much all the other candidates versus Ramaswamy. And then it got to a point where Christie say something, they boo, and then he'd say something else, and it was literally them. And then Mike Pence was weirdly talking when he shouldn't be talking, and Brett Baer's like, dude, we're on another question now. He's just, Mike Pence in the background, and they turned his mic off, but you hear Brett Baer talking, and you hear Pence in the background going, I think that the Russians need to, and you're like,
you mean Race Banner, right? You mean Race Banner, right?
No, Brett Baer. That was the moderator. Oh.
The guy from Johnny Quest.
Oh, yeah.
The dad from Johnny Quest.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes. Johnny Quest dad.
Hey, here's a fun fact, and I did not realize this until I started watching 30 Rock again. Did you know that Brett Baer was an executive producer on 30 Rock?
I did not.
Yeah. That blows my mind when I think, Brett Baer? Really? Okay.
Well, he's got a lot of irons and fires there.
Fingers in several pies, I guess.
But so it was a cluster.
Sure.
That whole thing was a cluster last night. Did we learn something? Maybe. I don't know. To be honest, I thought the fact that Trump wasn't there was going to be a good thing. Like, okay, now we can really learn about these people because once Trump's in the room, it's all Trump all the time.
I'm sorry, but I would every time I saw Rami Swami, I would call him a different name. Like, hey, Sammy Swami, what's up? Every single time.
So I would say,
how did DeSantis do?
DeSantis did all right.
Well,
he held his own. He was DeSantis. Nikki Haley, I thought, did pretty good.
If you haven't yet, by the way, you need to go watch the bad lip reading of the DeSantis campaign announcement.
Oh, okay.
It's so funny.
Anything bad lip reading does, I'm usually in. So.
At some point, a waiter or somebody comes over and brings him a plate of food, and he goes, hungry. It's so funny. Or hungry. That's it. Hungry.
I do enjoy the bad lip reading stuff.
It's really good.
But it was what it was. I mean, it was entertaining for 2 hours. Did I learn anything or have any epiphany moments? No, I did not. So let me give you the rundown. We do have a full slate. We're going to replay an interview this hour. Elliot Rodriguez from Loan Depot joined us earlier this week. He comes in and talks mortgages and loves working with first-time home buyers. So we talk home buying advice here with him. So we'll play that in just a few minutes. In the 8 o'clock hour, by 8:15, Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico will join us. Of course, we're 1 week out from the Guy Penrod concert.
Yes. 1 week from today.
Yes. This next Thursday night, happening at Grace Community Church. There are still general admission tickets still available, so we'll talk about that. Also, we got some other stuff coming up with this story. They got of course, we have our Heritage Dinner coming up here in just a few short months. It's Fast and Furious at the Historical Society.
Indeed.
And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Crystal Noble, wearing her Humane Society hat, is going to join us and give us an update on pets available for adoption at the Roswell Humane Society. Any deals, specials going on at the thrift store? They always got some. And what else is going on there at the Humane Society?
Yes, indeed.
Plus, we'll do all of your normal features that include the news of the local, national variety, Wall Street business, sports, all that other stuff. I think that does it.
I'm spent.
And I'm spent. All right. 7:17. Let's go ahead. Take a look at the weather. I haven't looked. I think we rained out yesterday.
We might have rained out, but the sun's slowly coming out. But temps are supposed to be down today, at the very least.
Yeah, I'm not going to be humid, right?
Yeah, well, of course.
Well, let's all.
Because we can't have nice things.
That's right. Let's all take a look and listen to the weather together.
Yes.
The weather together.
The weather together.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting some sunshine today, low to mid-90s on the afternoon high, but we have just enough moist air available for a few showers or thunderstorms by afternoon. Overnight, a few clouds down to a low of 70, and then we're back in the mid and upper 90s on Friday. It should be sunny. A little bit hotter on Saturday and Sunday. We're in the upper 90s both days, sunshine and a little breezy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 68 degrees. You know how long it's been since I've said a number in the sixes? Well, I did like a month ago once, but I don't get to say currently and then say sixes. Currently 68 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 90%. Winds are calm at the moment. There is a 20% chance for some showers and thunderstorms after 4 today. Mostly sunny. Highs expected to reach 92 degrees. So, as Sean mentioned, cooler. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, we're also looking at a 20% chance of showers, mainly before 10 p.m. So we're looking 4 to 10 p.m. tonight's our sweet spot for maybe seeing some more rain showers. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 71 degrees. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, mostly sunny, 98, back up near 100 tomorrow. Southeast winds, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 69 degrees. So weather should be fine and dandy for football wherever you're going on tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny, hot, 99 for a high with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, once again, back to rain chances, a 20% chance for showers and thunderstorms for Sunday afternoon, mostly sunny and a high of 98. 20% chance of rain for Sunday night as well. Monday of next week, we're looking at a 50% chance of rain with a high of 94. Monday night, a 60% chance of rain with the caveat that could be some heavy storms in there. And Tuesday, we're looking at a 60% chance of rain. So let's see, how does it go past to Wednesday? No talk of rain on Wednesday. So it looks like Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday there is our next chance for good rain, although we do have, looks like some rain chances this afternoon and this evening. All right, 9:19, quick 3-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Elliot Rodriguez from Loan Depot. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The Rehabilitation Center at Artesia General Hospital offers a variety of services led by experienced licensed therapists, including physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. Their multidisciplinary team provides a complete evaluation with the full support of your primary care provider to develop a custom plan to support your personal goals and recovery needs. These treatment plans help manage symptoms, educate patients and their families, and ultimately get back to the activities that bring you joy. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/rehab.
It's upgrade season at Roswell Honda. Pre-owned vehicles are in incredibly high demand, and that means more than ever before for your trade. And with the Roswell Honda upgrade program, they'll go the extra mile for you. They'll buy your vehicle outright, or you can trade up, even if you still owe money on your old vehicle. Upgrade to something new, or take the instant cash. And with 0.9% APR available, lease a 2023 Honda Civic or CR-V for just $259 a month. Now's the time to upgrade and save at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
It's Big O's Big Deal Event, August 21st through September 17th. Get a $110 rebate on sets of 4 Michelin Cross Climate 2 tires, or $70 rebate on all other Michelin lines, plus an additional $70 rebate on installation of select sets of 4 Michelin tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. Void where prohibited. See rebate form for terms and conditions. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer.
Calici's is ready to bring you the coolest dessert in the desert. Desert Ice, a 100% fat-free and dairy-free premium fruit ice that's made daily. Whether in the desert on a cone, a cup, or as a mix-it, Desert Ice is the perfect treat to cool you down when things get hot. Available in fruitastic flavors like mango, strawberry, lemon, and orange. Try it alone, in a cone, or take it to the party zone and mix it in with any Calici's flavor. Turns out the desert can be a pretty cool place. Get to Calici's on North Main in Roswell. Roswell's newest spot to chill out.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
Morning. Good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Elliot Rodriguez back with us with Lone Depot. Morning, Elliot. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Good morning. Good morning, Roswell.
Of course, if you're not familiar, Elliot joins us once a month, and he is the guy. He's not a real estate agent, so he's not the guy that's going to help you find the house. He's
sometimes.
Well, yeah, you never know, but that's not his trade.
Nope.
Yeah, he may stumble upon one just like everybody else does, but his trade is that he's the guy that gets you the money to pay for the house, and I say this every time because this is Elliot's kind of niche thing. Yeah, he loves working with first-time buyers. And his dream is to get people in their dream and getting them into their home. So he loves kind of mentoring and working with first-time home buyers to kind of show them the ropes on the ins and outs of what you should do and what you shouldn't do when it comes to buying your first home. And of course, don't get me wrong, he works with everybody. If you bought 60,000 homes or this is your first one, Elliot will take care of you. But I think he gets a little special spot in his heart when he sees the family with their first time home and they get the keys and they get that chance to walk in the door and say this is ours and no one else's. And that's what he he does it all, but that's kind of your special spot.
No, you're right. You're right. Because let me tell you something. Last week I did a closing for this lady that if we can say we got some hiccups here and there, it happens.
Sometimes
it happens.
Sometimes when the struggle's a little harder than normal, it makes the payoff a little sweeter.
I know. She's like, it's very funny. She's like, I'm so sorry, Ellie, that I was so difficult. And I'm like, it's okay. To me, she wasn't being difficult. Sure. It was just something a little
Sure. It was a bit of a challenge.
It was
for
a little
you.
challenge.
Yeah.
It wasn't normal like every day.
Sure.
But to me, what is normal anyway lately? So.
Well, and I imagine you find the fun in. All right, let me work this and let me see what I can do to make some magic here. And you just had to do this one on this particular one a little bit more than others.
But when these little things happen like this, is the part that I love the most.
Sure.
Because let me tell you, I guess, the animal in me, like I like a challenge at the same time too.
Sure.
So it's funny. And
let's face it, you're in a business where there's a lot of money exchanging hands, and it's really
there's
easy
a lot
to
of
get
different things.
It's really easy to get lost in that stuff, the numbers and the X's and O's. So when you get to see the human element and see what happiness was given because of all the X's and O's and minutia you're going through, and it makes people's heads swim. And then when they look, at the end of the day, I just want to be able to say this is my house. And when you're able to make that happen through all that nonsense, it's rewarding.
No,
it's awesome.
It was. The way I look at it, and then I even got an email like 1 or 2 days afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
She actually sent me an email to me and my staff saying how grateful she was.
That's awesome.
I mean, and it's still apologizing again. Oh, sorry, I was being so difficult.
Yeah.
I was a little frustrated. So. Wish I can say all the names and stuff like that.
Sure.
So another lender tell them to do something that no way in God's name.
So they got some bad advice.
They got some very bad advice. I don't know if the lender just had a hiccup, Because let's be honest, we're human beings.
Sure.
I'm not going to be evil and say everybody's so bad out there. The fact of the matter is this is lending 101 and shouldn't never tell her to do that.
Well, experience is a thing in the world, and people that have been doing it a while tend to know more ins and outs than someone that's newer to the industry.
I was just surprised because it's a big company.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my bigger competitors. Okay. So it's like, hey, here we go. I felt like Rocky Balboa in the end of the fight. Boom! I just took you down.
Taking on the clients of one of what you deem like a bully.
Exactly. Like you did wrong to these people. No, when she told me all that stuff, it's like, oh my, no, you cannot do that. So it was very difficult for her, and we think outside the box, try to figure out a few things, but it was something very complicated.
Sure.
And then there was something that I give her a very simple answer to fix the problem, and she couldn't do that. And doing the same idea of what I was doing, between me and her, put ourselves together and like, yeah, you could do this, you could do that. We just have to be able to prove it.
Sure.
And that was complicated as heck.
Oh,
it's like, holy crap. But anyway, I remember her telling me, she was being frustrated about the loan that she took. So another lender told her to take a loan, to take money. You can't do that. Folks out there.
So it ended up getting her kind of in trouble and getting the house.
Well, it just make it difficult. The numbers were fine. Okay. It was the money that the person had to be able to do what needs to be done. You can't use it. So no, you cannot go and, folks, listen real careful. You cannot go and take a loan to do a mortgage loan. It doesn't work that way.
So you have money down for a down payment.
Yeah, you cannot do that.
You can't take a loan on that.
There's rules in place because, even if I can get you approved, now you cannot even use that money.
Right.
There's rules in place for a reason, folks. So please do not do that. Now, if you have a car loan or something like that, that's a little different.
Well, and ideally, putting down payment on a house is your good faith side with your lender. That's generally why that's done that way.
And that's why you cannot take a loan because basically you tell him the lender, whoever's company it is, I didn't prepare myself to do it.
Yeah.
Give me a loan anyway.
It's your commitment to the process. Like this is the kind of thing that the lenders look at to say, okay, we're going to approve them. They're going to be in the house in a month. Time to make the first payment, and they disappear.
No, but with her help, because the fact of the matter, folks, it's a team effort. I don't do everything by myself. If you don't follow my lead and do what I ask you to do, then I cannot do it either way.
Sure.
I mean, I can have the best intention. Oh, I can't even say English. I can have the best intentions in hand.
Sure.
And it don't matter if you don't follow my lead.
It's no different than a sports team. If the coach says run this play and everyone runs a different play and it doesn't work, you can't blame the coach. He said, that's not the play you should have run. I should have ran this play.
I know the Coyotes are not having that problem now. They're actually listening. No, anyway, that was good.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was the funniest thing is, the finger blaming game started for a moment, and I told my borrowers like, no, don't put that this way. I've been trying to overcome this, and she knew what I was saying, and the funniest thing is there's a lot of things were going on that week, and she was telling me, oh, this is happening, I'm going to be homeless, and to me that's like put Elliot in gear even farther. That's like, we cannot have this. What is it? You're not going to be homeless on my watch. So my staff and I, we put ourselves together with her, and I'm very impressed. My team just delivered what I asked them to do.
Good deal.
And it was the funniest thing. And this lady sending me, she was real grateful already at the closing, first of all.
Sure.
But getting the email after the fact is why I love what I'm doing.
Sure. Well, and it goes back to the point we were talking about before. It's people that are trying to do the right thing but got bad advice or didn't know any better, and now they're in a pickle. And you're there saying, "Well, let me help you. Let's do this." And guess what? And here's the thing: a lot of mortgage lenders and stuff wouldn't waste their time with that because they're like thinking, especially, and I have no idea how much money she was investing, but
it was not a big loan.
But if this person's getting a $100,000 house compared to, and some big company sees this is, I got to go through all the steps, and at the end of the day, we're just loaning them $100,000. I'm out. I'm waiting for the
I think almost every company will go for it. I think it's just the lender itself, like the local individual that you may be dealing. Maybe feels like, it's too much of an effort.
It's not worth their time.
It's too much of an effort.
So they're not going to dedicate themselves to it.
And that's bad because you know what? Technically speaking, that's illegal, by the way.
Right.
Okay. You're not supposed to be putting things to the side, not thinking care of people.
It's a salesperson mentality.
Exactly.
As I'm a guy who works in radio. I'm not a salesperson directly, but we deal with, and indirectly I am. But But salespeople are the same way. It's like, hey,
True.
I've got it. I've got an appointment. One guy's spending $5,000 a month. The other's spending $200 a month. I'm going to the guy spending $5,000 a month, not the one going $200.
Well, I have an assistant, and she's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay? And she came with me from where I came from. They were stupid enough to let her go. You did me a favor. I don't have to wait.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she was going to come and follow me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, we talk about doing deals for people. And sometimes you have those $500,000 deals that is very simple.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this $100,000. Actually, I just did a deal not too long ago for $67,000. I'm actually going to close the deal today for $75,000, folks. And I still treating the customer like he's $1 million customer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why these people
and that's
come
why
back.
I do what I do.
When the next time they're like, okay, now I can buy a $150,000 house. Yeah.
So I was talking about her. It's like we do the same effort on everything, and in the long run, it will pay off.
Yeah.
And people are grateful, and they'll tell their brothers and sisters. And I mean, folks, everybody's going through craziness right now. Okay. I mean, there's stuff happening overseas. There's stuff happening at the West Coast. I mean, it was north in Canada before. Now, I mean, it's just one thing after the other. The guy in the radio was talking like, it feels like, the end of times of what it says in the Bible. Okay. Well, that's been like that for a long time, folks. Okay?
My whole life.
The Bible doesn't lie. It's just been telling you, and it just doesn't know how facts that the time. What is it? It's like my wife say, Elliot's not good with timing. Like I'm just like Jesus and God. Just he's coming, but you just don't know when. the 1 minute is really maybe a whole decade.
Time's a construct.
Exactly. It's just going to happen no matter what. That's the way I look at it. No, but in the end of the day, it's just about taking care of customers.
Sure.
And if you do the right thing.
You treat people well, then they're going to respond to that.
There's a lot of guys, I hear this all across the board, all kinds of companies and everything, all that they're not doing good and this and that, and that the applications numbers are lower and this. Like, okay. I always say that we're in a bubble, okay? Roswell is in a bubble because we're a totally different animal than everybody else, to be honest. But I don't think so. I think it's just what we take care of customers because I'm doing business in Albuquerque just the same as here, okay? I'm doing a little more here because I'm a local guy, okay? And I like to take care of customers here more than ever,
And let's face it, you do a lot of face-to-face stuff, and you don't want to be driving to Albuquerque every day.
No. I think that's probably why I'm so tired because I was in Albuquerque Friday and then I came back the same day.
Yeah, until we have the transporters like Star Trek, man.
I know. I'm waiting for that. It's like, come on, Captain Kirk, get this stuff going. No, but you have to be careful what somebody else is telling you. And we talked about this before. A lot of people come to me all the time telling me, "Oh, I couldn't buy a house. I haven't been able to buy a house forever." It's like, why? And I'm not saying, folks, that you're going to come to me and I'm going to say yes, ever. I tell people sometimes, if you do this, then I can tell you yes.
Sure.
Okay? But in the end of the day, I take a lot of stuff that other companies kind of mess up.
Sure.
Let's put it just like that.
Put it this way, if you're making a rent payment right now, then you can afford a house payment.
That is very true.
You just got to get your credit right to get someone to loan you the money.
And because you don't have a lot of money in the bank doesn't mean you cannot buy a house. Okay? You just have to be guided by the right individual that actually is going to have the patience to actually talk to you. I have so many customers that I still need to follow up on. That is crazy. I mean, I swear, like before COVID, okay, when I was in my other company, till after COVID, it never slowed down to me. And then after COVID, it got crazy. And then last year, the market went, it went out of control.
Right.
And folks, it's still not the highest interest rate yet. Okay.
But wait,
I'm not saying this in a good way, like, hey, don't worry about it. And that's not what I mean. What I mean,
if you're waiting for the right time, you're going to be waiting your whole life.
That is true. You cannot, folks. If anybody's listening there and you want to take a good advice, if you qualify to buy a house and you need to buy a home, let's talk. Don't be, oh my God, the market, I'm going to wait.
I'm waiting for the weather to be just perfect to do it.
Yes, it doesn't matter. Me and Mike talked about this about my own sister in Florida, asking me, what is it? When the planets are aligned,
right.
When is the right time? There's no such a thing.
Waiting for the golden light to come down.
It don't work that way.
The time has come, my children. Buy your home.
Like, you're not gonna have the right experience yet. No, it works. Is when you're ready. and you can afford it, no matter what's happening in the market, folks, okay? Don't let what is happening in the market stop you from having the dream of your life, which is owning your own home, okay? The fact of the matter is, when the market gets better, then we can refinance and lower your interest rate even more, okay? Because the fact is, if you buy a house right now that the interest rate are a little higher than we've been used to for the past 5 years, okay, that means 6 months, a year from now, whatever, you could refinance for lower because that means it'll put you in a better position.
Any house is your ticket into the club.
Yes.
Like, you're that guy standing in line.
Get the membership.
Yeah, you're that guy standing in line with a big bouncer sitting there saying you can't go in, and then you see the hot woman walk by and like, look at her. That's why I got in. They're the ones who've already bought a house, and they're in the club. They're going in there.
I like that.
You're the one sitting there paying your rent check, and you're like, I can't get in. They're like, well, we don't. But so even if it's not the right house, that first house is your ticket into the club. Once they say, oh, you got a house? The velvet rope comes by, you walk through, and you're in the club.
I got a new thing. Get your home membership.
It's kind of like that.
It really
is.
You know, I just got a phone call from a folk that I did a loan in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Elliot, he called me and left me a message. And the message just was really like out of control. It's like, what's happening? You already bought your house. It's not like we have an issue that you cannot buy it.
Right.
He's getting a bunch of mail at home, but a bunch of different offers. And he's like, what is all this stuff? It's like, I call him back and like, bud, you're part of the membership.
Yep. You're in the club. That's just it.
So, folks, I'm not making this up. I actually just tell him just that same very thing.
Yeah.
The fact is, now Mike and I talked about this all the time. The moment you buy a house, actually, when you even apply for, you start getting phone calls from everyone.
Oh, yeah.
And like, oh, you're not approved to anything, okay? Because how in God's name do they know anything? They don't know nothing. All they know is that you apply.
It's no different than those credit card applications you get in the mail. You're approved for $50,000 credit line. And like,
I remember getting a VA letter that says you qualify for 470 something. And folks, that's all that is that's the approval power that a VA person has.
I used my VA loan to get my house, and I got more people wanting to give me a VA loan after I already got my VA loan.
Is that funny or what? I was like, I get a letter at the house. If you would like to refinance, blah, 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 you qualify. It's like, refinance what? I don't have no mortgage.
People were chomping at the bit to take over my loan process, man. They were,
no, folks. You better be careful what you get in the mail. Especially after you buy a house.
Sure.
Okay? And
you got to be careful because a lot of times they'll talk to you. If you call and you think, like if you're in the process with one and you mistakenly think you're talking to that one.
And that's like, it happens every day.
Yeah.
I got a guy telling me, hey, Elliot, you people, like my people, nothing.
Yeah. That wasn't my people.
I'm the only person you're working with right now, but you're not even talking to my assistant yet.
Sure.
Okay?
But
the way they talk,
especially when you get to online stuff, like if you get email offers and things like stuff through the mail is probably a little different. But when you get the internet stuff,
it's bad.
And they won't tell you like, no, that's not us. We're not Loan Depot,
folks.
We're Loan Despot.
Let me tell you something. We on a technology mayhem.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything. Yesterday, I actually registered my number for. I wouldn't say prank calls, but for marketing calls, okay? Because my phone is just blowing up like there's no tomorrow, and I don't know if it's just the company or if it's some kind of bad hack that is happening out there. So be careful, folks, especially the older folks that are actually listening right now. If you get a call and they're talking about Medicare and this and that, the fact of the matter is, guys, almost no government, actually, let me rephrase that. No government agency is going to call you.
No.
Not one. So please do not.
They send everything certified mail.
Yeah,
and
they
stuff
send you
like
something
that.
in the mail, and then you go and talk to these people and you go to their offices, not some kind of place that you don't even know what it is. So don't let people get you in that stuff.
Yeah, when they just call you randomly on the phone saying you're about to lose your insurance or you're about to do something like that, it's a scam.
My unit loan officers in my office listening to me is like, and this is my answers to these people. Am I talking to a person or a machine?
Yeah.
Please respond. If not, take my name off of the list, please. No, what I was saying is, so I had to read.
Oh, and if they speak English like broken, that's a clue. Hang
big
up.
Time.
Like
big
if they're
time.
trying to sell you something official government, the guy can barely speak English. maybe it's time to hang up on that phone call.
No, but I registered my phone for that.
Yeah.
So I don't get no more marketing stuff. I have to put my email. It's like, why do I need to put my email? So I can register to take my telephone number from this. But now I'm going to get emails for that.
Right.
It's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
It's weird. And they even have a disclosure that says, like government agencies and like, political agencies, can reach out to you. It's like, oh, so you even give me disclosure on who's going to call me now.
Right. What nefarious things will come from this one? Thank you for that. But that's the
no.
But most people don't even read that stuff. They just go through it, and then they wonder why they get inundated
Yes,
with all this
folks,
stuff.
when you buy a house
fine.
and you get something that says Loan Depot, blah, 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 you warranty this and that, is canceled, it's over, and this and that, you just bought the house.
Right. You can't even download a fast food app without committing to all kinds of legalese and everything else.
I take that video about that the guy went to get some kind of like a tea, and it has like some kind of sugar stuff. Like, I don't want the sugar part. And she goes, that's fine, Go ahead and do the app. It's like, I'm face to face right here. Can I give you cash?
It's like, you got tea right there.
She goes, no, I'm sorry, we don't take cash here. But we take cards. And okay, good. So
the tea's right there. The cash is right
and
here.
And she goes, well, you have to download the app so you can order the thing. It's like, what?
Yeah, I'm all for convenience, but we can't take away the ridiculously simple either.
When you go to McDonald's.
I got $1.50 in my pocket. I want a soda. Can I just give you this $1.50 and you give me a soda?
When you go to McDonald's, are you using your app? It's like, no, I'm in the drive-thru. Hello.
Well, now the app is my friend.
No, but I get it.
Yeah, that
you already put your order. I get it.
Well, here's what, and this is what I hate people do on here, and I've called people out on this. If you're that person with the van full of people and you're going through drive-thru orders, then download the app and pre-do it. That way when we get up there, you're not alienating 20 people because the guy in the back wants orange soda instead of Sprite, and y'all are fighting for 10 minutes. Sprite, not orange soda.
I seen that. Somebody take forever. It's like, didn't you know what you're going to get by the time you got here?
Either get your butt inside with your little crew, and let them order, or
I do understand the convenience of it. Yeah. I get it. But it has been taken to the
But yeah, you're right. Exactly. I don't want to walk. And it's like, look, I have $5. You have a thing of fries and a sandwich. Can I just give you the $5 and you give me that? And it's like, no, you got to go through here and register for this.
I had an agent that told me, you don't have a normal app.
Yeah.
I have a website. That's my app.
I would argue that's why Radio Shack is no longer in business. Because if you remember back in the day,
that's a good point.
Radio Shack, you could not buy anything in Radio Shack without giving them your whole life story.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Where's Blockbuster?
Yeah.
Do you know that was one of the biggest, movie rental business?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they screwed up because they didn't go with the time.
But that's true. They needed to adjust a few things.
Yeah, they held that dead horse.
The red boxes are still around.
They are. And still people go.
I'm surprised about that.
Yeah.
I saw that. It's like, they're still around.
I haven't put a DVD in a DVD player in years. But yeah. But
no, I just actually did one last night for a long time. I was like, you know what? I want to see this show without no commercials, no this. Yeah. You know what? It's time to put my DVD.
Put it in the DVD. But I don't remember. Like, you couldn't even buy an 8-pack of batteries without giving your address, phone number, and all this stuff.
It's getting crazy.
And Radio Shack was notorious for that. And I'm like, they're out of business now. I'm telling you, people were tired of doing that. And that was the reason why. There's other things, but and we're getting back in that site. And I get for convenience, and I get all that. But at the same time, we can't walk away from the fact that say, hey, you're selling coffee. I've got $5. Here's $5. Give me coffee.
No,
Thank you very much.
I mean, everything is changing. I mean, when I came to Loan Depot, the first thing I was like, can I have a normal app? Like I can, brand to my... Yes, that's a good thing. But the fact of the matter is, okay, my company is so big.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's be honest, people retire, quit, or get fired. Okay.
Life happens.
So many different things. And then we'll have 20 million apps out there for that individual that is no longer with us.
So now you have to kind of triage it and fill in the void.
Because I was wondering, and I know there's other things why.
So did you have to play a lot of that when you kind of first started with Loan Depot?
It's a little different, but I have a website which is just the same.
Right.
In some ways actually better because I like my agents to, I like the way I said my agents. Yeah, folks. I'm yours, you're mine. No, I mean, partnership is a big deal.
Sure. Okay? People you work with, your team. Yeah.
That's my team. They're my partners.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean that with the I'm going to say it just like this because the facts are the facts and the way I believe and what I know. There's no lender that's going to take care of any of you guys out there, customers and agents alike, okay? Because my partners, I take care of my partners, okay? I don't do some crazy stuff, but I'll take care of my customers.
It's going
and my
back
partners.
to how you treat your customers. You treat your employees the same way because you want, it's not a hard equation. You want people to do things for you, and you want people to, you got to be nice and you work with them. If you do that, you find out that everybody works and does things you want to do. The moment you try to go in there being big-headed or being a jerk, it's going to get a lot rougher to get things done.
It's not going to be.
So you treat your employees how you treat your customers, and it turns out everybody's kumbaya.
All right. So the folks that are there that maybe have thought about doing business with me or they haven't yet. And this goes from partners, and when I mean partners, real estate agents or customers that maybe somebody say my name, but you haven't done it yet. Do it. Let me tell you something, guys. I will not let you down.
Right.
I got today is Tuesday. I got a couple approved on Sunday night. And let me say it like this. This is not advocating for people to call me late at night. Okay?
You're setting yourself
but
up
I'm there. I'm setting myself for failure here. The fact of the matter is I'm here for my customers and my partners. And my partners know this. The cool part about it is that my clients, I think to a certain level, they respect that anyway. So it's not like I'm on Saturday and Sundays at 8 or 9 o'clock or every other day throughout the week taking with customers. Sure. But the fact is that they can.
Sure.
So if there's an emergency or situation that it needs it, guess what? They get taken care of.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm bringing this to attention is very simple. On a Sunday, I took care of people. Okay. Actually, I took care of two
customers on a Sunday?
On the Sunday, okay. Yesterday, I got contracts for both of them.
Nice.
That means the agent, I was able to get their customers approved. The agents, in turn, when I made an offer. Because, folks, if you're thinking about buying a house, you can't get on the sideline playing like maybe not.
Sure.
When you get approved, you need to start giving me the stuff I asked for you. You need to get moving.
Sure.
There's plenty of houses, but not enough houses. And you're going to, Elliot, that's an oxymoron, right? What the heck are you talking about? The fact is, there are not enough houses. There's plenty of houses out there, but there are not enough houses because there's too many people going for the same home.
Exactly. There's not enough houses of the type that everybody
wants. I mean,
it's
there's
supply
plenty.
and demand.
And guys, they're still remodeling loans. So if you're trying to go for a $250,000 home, you still got a $250,000 home, but maybe for $225,000, and now that's it.
But then there's people that don't want to do that. They're like, no, I want to buy a home and I want to get in it.
And that's understandable.
Then there's people that don't want to do that. They're like, no, I want to buy a home and I want to get in it.
Sure. If not ready to move ready, I'm done fixing everybody. There's no way in God named Elliot buying another house.
To be honest,
if he's not ready to move ready, I'm
for the
done
most
fixing
part, that's a young person's game. You know what I mean? Like, when you get to that point where you're, you've established your family, you're well into your career and things. At that point, you're kind of like, I don't want to spend my weekends remodeling kitchens and bathrooms. I want to watch football and live my life. Spend my weekends remodeling kitchens and bathrooms. But when you're 20 or a new couple or whatever, it's just you and your spouse, and you're like, the world's your oyster. It's like, let's buy or whatever. That house you and your spouse that needs, and you're like, kitchen the world's your oyster. It's like, let's buy updating it. That house. Yeah, it looks like it was a nice house in the 1970s. It needs to be updated to current time. Yeah, it looks like it was a nice house in the 1970s. And here's the thing: you're going to make out ahead because if you do that, you bought this house for say $75,000. And here's the thing: you're going to make out ahead because if you do that, then you bought this house for you overhaul it. You spend, let's say, $50,000 overhauling it. You'll turn around and sell that. Probably you spend $50,000 overhauling it. If you did the right upgrades and the right things to it, and so you actually made a ton of money doing that. But that's a lot of late nights of sanding, scrubbing, doing electrical work, plumbing, whatever it takes. That's a lot of late nights of sanding, scrubbing, doing electrical work, plumbing, whatever it takes. Might not be the route that you want to go, but if you're willing to do that, and if you're young, sit down and watch TV, then you might really. And this is what Ellie's talking about. It's where you're at in your life, and if you're young, if you're then young and starting out, and this is what Ellie's talking about. You can be a little where you're at in your life because you can do some stuff and willing to do it. Young and start, but when you get to that point where you're good and settled and all that stuff, stuff, then do some stuff and willing to do it.
Problem is that people are looking to that point where you're good.
Like if everyone's all that stuff, there's plenty of houses for the 70,000 because no one are looking.
Nobody's fixing
like
them.
If everyone, but if you're willing to do a little work and a little love on there, you're gonna make out like a bandit. But if you're willing to do when you got people that are in their 50s, 40s that are established, they're not. You're gonna make out like a bandit. So they're wanting when you got 2, 3, 500,000 40s that are established. That's what Elliot's talking about. So they're wanting when they do pop up, they're competitive, which means there's multiple people bidding on it, which is why on a Sunday night he has to get the ducks in a row so they can get the bid first on Monday morning, which is why on a Sunday night
I remember one time I was actually on the phone and it was 11 o'clock at night. And I was actually talking to a customer, not emailing and testing. It was 11 o'clock at night. I don't believe my wife is saying, what the freaking guy's name is happening here? Get on the phone. I don't believe my wife is saying, what the freaking guy's name is happening here? You know what? And you know what? That person's going to appreciate that more.
Sure.
Okay. Because they bought a house. You know what? And you know what? That person is going to appreciate that. Ellie Winders from out for me. Because folks, they bought a house. If you're being on the fence, now thinking about buying a house from out for me. And some people have to, in the past, you can't. If you're being on the fence, hey, thinking about buying a house. You know that some people have to in the past. You know, I'm a Mexican. You know, like some people say that, like because they can't. Just their little face. You know, I'm a Mexican. If somebody's telling you can say that, like because they can't start talking to somebody and getting some answers. If somebody's telling you can,
and that's where you come in because you're like you may say, well, you can't right now, but. Sure. Do this, and this, and 6 months. And that's where you come in because you may say, well, you can't right now, but
I will say
do this, and this, in 6 months we can get you in.
Yes, they can. Most of the lenders just didn't do their job.
They didn't want to take the time to go because, again,
you have to uncover every stone.
They didn't want to take the time to squeeze to go because, again, for some of these folks, it's not. Again, you're like, no, that's who I want. I want for some of these folks, it's not. And now you're like,
I got 2 deals going on right now at the moment.
That didn't think they could, and now I got them in.
We're brought 2 deals going on because the other lender couldn't. And that's local lenders brought in. I just want to say that because the other lenders.
Well, and that's how word of mouth works.
Exactly. The fact of the matter is, this is local lenders that did it. Okay.
Well, and that's how word of mouth works.
So they brought that to me and like the fact of the matter is, take a look. This is local lenders that did this. No problem. So they brought that to me and like the funniest thing is. And they're like, oh, shoot, previous lender. You know, the funniest thing is share with me the text message they got. And it was a very pathetic message. Like, why share with me the text message? And I'm going to say it too much. It was around the area like, oh, if you guys came up with another idea, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to say it too much. You could have told me it was around the area. In other words, oh, if you guys came up with another idea, answer how to get it done. You could have told me. They need to give me to you.
They're politely blowing you off.
They go somewhere else and answer.
I don't want to mess with you.
That is our job. They need to give me to you. Your lender cannot give you an answer on how to make it work. That is our job. Maybe you should not be a lender. Give you an answer.
That's kind of what you do for a living.
Simple as that. Maybe you know. But no, I mean, folks, don't be afraid out there.
That's kind of what you do for a living.
Simple as that. You know, if you want to buy a house, but no, I mean, folks, don't be afraid out there. You know, Loan Depot is the second largest, you know, lender in the United States right now. That is not even a bank. You know, Loan Depot is the second largest.
That's all they do is find money
for people. Okay.
And like I said, you get the national backing with all the incentives and things that a large company can do. But you get the national, you get the local of Elliott being right here and things that a large company can do. But if you need to meet face to face, no worries, we can do that really easy. That's the difference here. So you get all the convenience of having the big company and the incentives and the deals. You get all the convenience of having the big minutia that you hate and the feeling like a number and going through the gauntlet of computer calls and all that. Minutia that you hate because you're feeling like a number and going through the gauntlet of. So reach out to Elliott. We got to get through the time here. You can check out his website. Elliott's got his own website. Reach out to Elliott and reach out and learn more about Elliott and all his. You can check out his website. Elliott's got his own webpage. Different accomplishments and things. Reach out. If you go to loandepot.com and then add / Elliott Rodriguez, all one word. Things. He spells Elliott with one L and a Z at the end. / Elliott Rodriguez, all one word. And so that way you put Elliott Rodriguez, and then you can go and see his website. You can shoot him an email. Direct. Just put Elliott Rodriguez, all same way, one word. Website. You can shoot him an email. Shoot him an email, and he'll be happy to talk to you. All same way, one word. At loandepot.com. You can always call him at 719. This is his cell, so it'll go wherever he goes. 719. You can always call him at 4680. Again, 719. Go wherever he goes. 719-4680. If you do call the main office, 505. Again, 719-220-70. 4680. Leave a voicemail, and you may catch him on. Yeah, he'll call you right back.
Just leave me a voicemail.
Odds are leave a voicemail and seeing customers. You may catch him on. Yeah, he'll call you right back.
And folks, you got to get approved. One of the only things that I'm seeing is that everybody wants to buy a house and they haven't got approved. You got to get approved. One of the only things that I'm seeing
get the money,
is that everybody wants to right away
and then go find your house. It's so much more fun to shop when you already know how much. Get the money,
right away, and then go find your house.
Thank you as always, Elliot. We'll see you next time. When you already know how much.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. It is. Thank you as always, Elliot. We'll see you next time.
Before news. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. It is.
Now for a Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. 2 motorcyclists killed in a tragic crash along U.S. Highway 62-180 on Saturday in Eddy County. A third motorcyclist survived the ordeal after being flown to a hospital. The accident happened near Potash Mines Road when 3 men driving separate bikes were headed eastbound. For some reason, 2 of them lost control, laid their bikes down, and slid, falling off the pavement, colliding with the center median. Felipe de Jesus Fuentes Jr. and Joe Michael Flores, both of Hobbs, were killed. 50-year-old Domingo Avila, also of Hobbs, is recovering at a hospital today. Another oil and gas land lease auction is slated for the second quarter of next year. This sale will include 27 parcels on more than 6,200 acres of land throughout Eddy, Lee, and Chavez counties, and also in Cheyenne County, Kansas. The BLM says a public comment period will continue to run through September 20th. Those interested in providing feedback on the lands proposed for sale can do so on the BLM's lease sale website. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. It's part 2 of a midweek doubleheader between Goddard and Roswell. And we're talking about soccer. First started with girls soccer on Tuesday, where Goddard won that one by a score of 3-1. That was actually the season opener for both teams. Goddard was paced by sophomore Olivia Rosso. She had 2 goals, and teammate Bennett Rolk, a senior, had 1 goal for Goddard. Meanwhile, Alacia Herrera had the single goal for Roswell in that game. Roswell plays Artesia. That starts at 6 o'clock on Friday, part of the Roswell tournament. And Goddard will be hosting Alamogordo Friday night at 6 o'clock. Meanwhile, the guys get going tonight against each other. Goddard's already played 1 game, beating Clovis earlier in the week. They will take on Roswell starting at 4 o'clock today. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The latest results and forecasts from retailers ranging from Macy's to Foot Locker are showing fresh signs of U.S. consumer spending remaining under stress. Middle-income Americans are spending less as many struggle to pay off existing card debts amid a surge in cost of living, raising worries for retail sector investors betting on more business during the back-to-school and holiday seasons. Kohl's department store beat estimates for quarterly profit on Wednesday as leaner inventories, lower costs, and fewer discounts helped the department store chain. U.S. regulators announced a settlement with the company that runs Dollar Tree and Family Dollar aimed at improving worker safety at thousands of bargain stores across the country. Hollywood studios and streaming services have released the terms of a revised proposal to striking writers, but the union urged members to continue picketing as the new offer failed to address all of the concerns. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The dust is settled following the first Republican presidential candidates debate of the 2024 election cycle, a spirited exchange involving 8 candidates on the stage in Milwaukee last night.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis got things started with a question on the economy. In a debate on the Fox News channel, he blamed President Biden.
Our country is in decline. This decline is not inevitable. It's a choice.
Former Vice President Pence touted his experience.
I think unquestionably I am the best prepared, the most tested, the most qualified and proven conservative in this race.
Pence tussled with entrepreneur and political newcomer Vivek Ramaswamy, saying the White House is no place for on-the-job training.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston says that former President Trump took a pass on last night's debate. Indicted on racketeering and conspiracy charges, the former president confirms plans to surrender today in Atlanta. Rudy Giuliani turned himself in yesterday, saying that questioning the outcome of an election is no crime. A couple of months ago, the leader of the Russian mercenary Wagner Group led an armed rebellion with an aborted march on Moscow, and now Yevgeny Prigozhin is dead.
Video of the crash shows the plane plummeting from the skies. Other footage shows wreckage ablaze in a field. Posts on the Grey Zone Telegram accounts linked to Wagner alleged the plane had been shot down by Russian air defenses.
The BBC's Danny Aberhart says Prigozhin was on board the private jet that crashed about 200 miles north of Moscow. 4 people killed, the gunman among them, in a shooting at an Orange County, California night spot. Police speculate it might have been the result of some sort of domestic dispute. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 204 points. The Nasdaq ahead 58 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
North Korea has failed again to launch a spy satellite, but it's not giving up.
For Kim Jong-un, a working spy satellite is a coveted prize. It would allow him to monitor incoming attacks, as well as plot his own more accurately. This is the second time he's tried and failed to get the satellite into orbit. But although this morning's failure will have been disappointing for Pyongyang, it appears they've made some progress. It seems the rocket carrying the satellite flew further than during the previous attempt. And Mr. Kim will likely continue until he succeeds.
The BBC's Jean McKenzie reporting from Seoul, South Korea. Israeli medics say an avalanche of rock tumbled down a hillside in Israel near the Dead Sea. Several people injured. Israel's rescue service not giving the exact number of injured, but says the casualties included a 4-year-old girl as well as a man who was seriously hurt. News and analysis, townhall.com. Well, just in case you might have been thinking about it, not a good idea to get too friendly with your pet turtle.
The CDC says 26 people in 11 states have contracted salmonella after kissing their turtles. 9 had to be hospitalized. In an investigation notice, the CDC says turtles with shells less than 4 inches long seem to be the most likely sources of the illness. It warns, quote, don't kiss or snuggle your turtle and don't eat or drink around it. The CDC says children under 5, those over 65, and people with weak immune systems should not keep turtles as pets. Von Agner reporting.
China's banning seafood imports from Japan. It's in response to Japan's release of huge amounts of treated radioactive wastewater from the disabled Fukushima nuclear power plant. The wastewater being discharged into the Pacific Ocean in a project that's expected to last for decades. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. day. The devil wits and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Deuces.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 of Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes.
Hope your Thursday's going well.
Indeed.
A little cooler this morning.
It's kind of sticky outside.
A little humid. Mm-hmm. But high is only supposed to hit 92 today.
That's right.
We'll see. But then we're back up to like 98 tomorrow.
Shut up. Just let us enjoy the moment.
But
80s next week.
But like Monday and Tuesday, we're looking like 50-60% chances of rain.
That's true.
So
summer showers.
Little roller coaster the next couple days.
The remnants of Hillary are finally making their way to the Pecos Valley.
There you go. It says hurricanes going to hit New Mexico.
I love that they called the first hurricane to hit the West Coast in like 4 decades. They called it Hillary.
Yeah.
It's just like, it feels apropos.
Well, there is a whole system.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yo, you kind of wait for your name. I've never had a Hurricane Sean or Tropical Storm Sean, but I've always kind of hoped for one.
I seem to remember a Mike years ago, but I don't think it amounted to much.
I think it was Michael.
Michael, maybe.
Yeah, Michael. I know there was an Andrew. That was the big one back in the 90s, yes. Hurricane Andrew.
Hugo.
That
was a big one in my younger days.
I just feel like they have like one of those...
of course, Katrina.
One of those spinning racks of like the license plates that you see at like the gift shops.
Right.
And that's how they name it. They're like, we're going to call this one Hurricane Yolanda.
Robert.
Jim Bob, you're up. That's always depressing too if you're one of the kids that you can't find your name at those places. And then again, I also cursed my own child because her name is Rhiannon.
Yeah, let's say
she's probably not going to find a license plate, but she'll probably find a Fleetwood Mac album or two.
Maybe Hunter might.
Oh, Hunter's for sure.
You think there's a lot of Hunter license plates in
it's incredibly popular of a name to the point where like I call Hunter's name at the park, and I get a couple of kids looking my way like, oh crud.
Well, using that logic, I'm guessing your buddy Ramaswamy didn't have a license plate either.
That does feel like the most fun name to yell. Like if you're mad, Ramaswamy, get your butt in here! You know what you did, Ramaswamy! It's just fun.
It is a fun name to say.
It is.
But I don't think you see that at the Carlsbad Caverns gift shop anytime soon.
It's like you have 2 options as a child if your name is Rami Swami. You either get into politics or you become a magician.
Yep.
What's his last name? Swami. Is that his first name?
No, it's his last name.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like his first and last name.
No, his first name's like Vanik or something. Vanik Ramaswamy or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's just fun.
But you're not gonna see that on the coffee cup.
It never comes up.
That was actually a rule way back when my younger days when I was. Before I was, wondering if I was going to have kids, that kind of thing. And that was always the rule I told people as a teenager. I said, I will never, my children's names, you can buy them on a coffee cup.
You will find a vanity license
at a gift shop. If you can't find that name on there, then I'm not naming the kid. I'm not saddling with a handle that.
That's why you never got to hold little Krishna.
That's right.
It wasn't in the.
Why would you saddle a kid where they're going to have to spend their whole life explaining to people how to spell their name and how to do that?
That's the thing is, my kid's name is 2 consonants next to 2 vowels next to 2 consonants. It's kind of messed up.
It's like Joe Bob Johnson. Got it. We're done.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yes. But it's actually, I went back and forth just for a minute. I'm not even sure what I was thinking when I was deciding, because I got the option to name Hunter because Rhiannon was sort of Carletta's choice.
What would you have gone?
I didn't really even
Didn't
think
have a
about it.
preference.
No,
Okay.
I was good with. In Rhiannon, it's unique enough, and her middle name is Elizabeth with an S. I'm giving way too much information about my daughter away.
Her social security number is.
Oh, I didn't know that. But for Hunter, it was literally a choice between, and I again don't know what I was thinking, Hunter and Fisher. Fisher is and I'm sorry if your name is Fisher. Fisher is a terrible name, and I'm not even sure what I was thinking. I'm so glad I landed on Hunter. The only Fisher I could think of was Fisher Stevens and Bobby Fisher.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. So.
You seem to like to name people after actions. This is my boy Runner.
This is Archer.
This is Eater.
Him over there, that's Sitter. No, stay where you're at, boy. Living up to your name. I admire it.
I have a joke that we keep going with this, but it's not radio friendly. It's not safe for radio. But that's an interesting thought now that I think about it. It's like, I gotta name my kids after verbs. Like,
what's funny is if you look at his regular name, yes, but if you look at his other name, it kind of looks like I picked it out of a Sherwin-Williams. His full first and middle name is Hunter Gray.
This is my boy Butcher, this is my boy Baker, and my son Candlestick Maker.
With a long story. We're really hoping here.
Butcher's a vegan.
Yeah, swing and a miss on that one. Can't win them all.
I kind of wish somebody did that now. Like somebody, people do some ridiculous stuff.
It's right up there with Walker and Texas Ranger.
Right.
Dude,
man.
so before wrestling last night, I started watching Ted 2. Is now available on Peacock.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, let me rush out and get Peacock.
You should. No, here's the thing. It's not necessarily a great movie that stands up necessarily on its own.
It's fun,
but it's got so many just clippable moments.
Yeah, one-liners
that are just so
great
good.
offshoots. You could pick it up at any point in the movie and be entertained for 20, 30, or for the rest of the movie.
The one where they were describing the weed strains, in fact, I believe I texted my friend because they were so good. The radio friendly ones I'm gonna read.
I'll say both of these probably can't say on the radio.
No, I think these were actually okay, but let me see.
I haven't seen that movie in a few years, but
they are. How long? Here comes autism. How long has that van been here? And can you help me get home?
Well, the part that if I remember. Like there's a scene where Wahlberg has the help I can't get help me get home, and he's like leaning up against the wall, like please take me home,
and they have to guide him home. Yeah. It's pretty good stuff. It's pretty good.
Well, Grandma's Boy has some great strain
You're
names too.
Absolutely right.
If you're ever looking for those, that movie, the deer antler, the Frankenstein, those are good.
The monkey.
I love deer antlers.
That movie, and then I'm trying to think. There's Pineapple Express, obviously, but those were more like legit.
That was more action movie.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, that was comedy in it, but I would lean Pineapple Express as an action movie with comedy.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
an action comedy, kind of in the same vein of like a Beverly
Grandma's
Hills Cop.
Boy. There's no action whatsoever.
Did you know? In the Beverly Hills Cop was supposed to be a straight up action movie.
Was it?
Sylvester Stallone was signed on to do the project,
of Eddie,
and he backed out of the project, and then they completely flipped it on its ear and changed it to an action comedy.
So once Eddie signed on, or they got him, then it turned into the action comedy that we all know and love today.
That's right.
I don't think that would have worked as a Stallone movie.
I'd be curious. 3 definitely wouldn't have worked.
Okay, because now I'm curious. Like, if there was no Eddie Murphy, would there have been a Judge Reinhold or the other guy?
That's exactly what I was just wondering. I was like, so Judge Reinhold kind of owes his entire success to Stallone backing out of that project.
I don't know. He had a few movies under his belt. Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. I forgot he was in that.
He had some movies under his belt by
but he was not one of the more memorable
to be honest, that was the heyday of Judge Reinhold was those movies.
Who first coined the term Judge freaking Reinhold? Because that was such a thing when I was a kid.
Yeah. Have you seen Judge Reinhold recently? I have not. I'm kind of curious what
the last time I saw him was in Arrested Development.
Okay.
They did a show on Arrested Development called Mock Trial with Jay Reinhold. It was great. William Hung he sang the theme song, Mock Trial with Jay Reinhold. My name is Judge. It was a whole thing. That
sounds good.
Oh, it's so great.
I missed that episode.
It was so good.
Was that a later one? Or
that was, I want to say, season 3.
Okay.
Season 3 is kind of when
so that's still been a few years.
Arrested went off. Yeah, that's like 2008.
Yeah, that's still 10, 12 years ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's out there.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm like, gee whiz,
Oh my
is he retired?
God,
Does he still
I
work?
haven't brought this up yet. Did you hear that Terry Funk died?
No.
Yesterday.
The wrestler died?
Who else?
I know. I'm just saying for people who don't know who Terry Funk is.
I gotta go to a loser has to plan the funeral for the winners match.
I'm doing it for the listeners that don't know who Terry Funk is.
Yes, pro wrestling legend and icon Terry Funk passed away yesterday, I believe at the age of 79.
Wow, he was 79?
79, yeah. He was, or 70-something. I have to look that up.
See, wrestlers, I cannot guess age. They all look like they're 90.
Well, he still was working like almost up to the day he died.
Probably why he died. He probably should not be working anymore. Because and for folks that don't know, or if you have no idea who Terry Funk is
79.
He's a wrestler that is on the extreme side.
He's
too.
known for doing death matches.
Yeah, all the brutal stuff. He's been a part of that stuff. So
if you've ever heard of the exploding barbed wire death match, he was responsible for like 3 of those.
Wow.
Yeah. So
did it like happen overnight or something?
No, it was I found out about it at the beginning of Dynamite yesterday because they put up the screen, the Rest in Peace Terry Funk. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That took me completely by surprise.
Our guest is on their way.
Awesome.
Just got a little text saying that.
So that being said, let's look into Judge Reinhold.
Yeah, I'm very curious with that.
But that
So Terry Funk, but I'm sorry, I was half doing something. Heart attack? I mean, did they say like
they haven't released any
kind of like is it a like medically, or did he kill himself? I mean, do we know any of this stuff?
Not. I can't. I mean, I don't think he was still necessarily competing, but I know that up to like a year ago he was still doing matches.
Like, did he get diagnosed with something?
To my knowledge, no.
And he kept it under wraps, kind of thing, a cancer deal or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, I wasn't there.
I know. I just knew you were a fan. I figured once you heard, you're digging. So
you'd think.
You start turning on your Sherlock Holmes hat here. I was figuring.
All right, we'll put Judge Reinhold on the shelf.
Well, I'm just curious because I figure a name like that in the wrestling world would be more mainstream, and maybe it's just
the exact reason behind Terry Funk's cause of death was dementia. It says,
okay, so he did have something.
He was dealing with health issues for a while. Given this, it's plausible that his health concerns may have contributed, but until official reports come out, the cause remains undetermined.
But he did have dementia.
Yes.
Okay, so that might
be again, look at what he did as a career.
Sure.
It makes a lot of sense.
It does.
The crown of his head took most of the brunt of his falls.
Oh, yeah. Like, if you know how they do the NFL players with the CT scan after their death, he's definitely one that you probably want to take a look at.
One of the reasons that CTE research has come as far as it has is because of a guy named Chris Nowitzki, who used to be a wrestler.
Okay.
He actually was in WCW for a number of years when I started watching. He retired after one particularly bad concussion, and he said, I'm never going back to the ring again. And then he started researching CTE.
Okay.
And it's sort of like he was actually given Benoit's brain, Chris Benoit, after all that went down.
Deal, yeah.
Yeah, they donated his brain to Chris Nowitzki's team, and they released the picture. I'm sure you've seen the pictures.
Yeah,
or
heard at least. Yeah.
Yeah, where he basically had the brain of an 87-year-old man with dementia.
So I think Terry Funk's would be another one you need to take a look at and study and learn some stuff, because I think there is something to learn.
I got to go to a loser has to donate his brain to science match. Still to this day, one of my favorite bits ever is Terry Funk's always got to go because he's got to run to a loser has to do something match. It's just one of those you can go back and forth endlessly with a friend.
Like, do you think he did that in his personal life too? Like when he's just talking to his buddies at the restaurant, he's like, I gotta go.
I gotta go to a loser has to buy the winner a buffet match.
Anytime he's just trying to get out of a conversation.
Just going to Golden Corral for the afternoon. I'm meeting a buddy down at Golden Corral. I gotta go to a loser has to buy a winner a buffet match.
And all you can eat spoiled shrimp match.
Guest has arrived.
Well, I think that's a bummer. I'm kind of, it's always, I wasn't like a fan of his matches because all the blood and gore is not my thing.
I was such a fan
but
of his
matches. I appreciate the dedication to the craft, and I appreciate the stories, and I appreciate the all of the behind. Yeah,
he was a legend.
Amy McVeigh is going to join us here in just a few minutes from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. We are 1 week out from the Guy Penrod concert, but wait, there's more. We got Heritage Dinner. We got all kinds of stuff on the horizon here, so we'll talk about that with Amy in just a few minutes. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting some sunshine today, low to mid-90s on the afternoon high, but we have just enough moist air available for a few showers or thunderstorms by afternoon. Overnight, a few clouds down to a low of 70, and then we're back in the mid and upper 90s on Friday. It should be sunny. A little bit hotter on Saturday and Sunday. We're in the upper 90s both days, sunshine and a little breezy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 72 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 79%. Winds are out of the south at 6 miles per hour. There is a 20% chance for some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. That was nice yesterday, wasn't it? Those little waves of rain pretty much all night. We don't get that very often. I enjoyed that. I did see a flash flood advisory pop in about 9 o'clock last night, but I don't think anything. I didn't hear any reports of flooding or anything, so I'm going to call it a win-win last night. 20% chance of rain for this afternoon, though. Mostly sunny and 92. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% chance of rain continues tonight, mainly before 9 p.m. So like 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. is what they're saying our sweet spot for rain is for today. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 71 degrees, for tonight, south winds 5 to 10. Friday, no talk of rain and warm. Sunny, 98 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 69, so should be good weather for football, whether you're going to be at the Bull Bowl or on the road, wherever you're going to watch your football tomorrow night. And then for the weekend, sunny on Saturday with a high of 99, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday begins some good rain chances. Not so much for Sunday, but for days after. Sunday, we are looking at a 20% chance for afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny, 98 for a high, 20% chance of rain for Sunday night as well. Monday, we're looking at a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high of 94 under partly cloudy skies, and a 60% chance with the caveat that some storms could be severe Monday night. And then Tuesday, we're also looking at a 40% chance of rain with a high of 91. And then by Tuesday night, it all wraps up, looks like. But just saying, there's a chance. Drink it in. All right, 8:23, we're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then Amy McVeigh with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico will join us on the other side. Don't go away.
Hold! It's the 15th anniversary of Artesia Chamber of Commerce's Clay's Crusher Fun Shoot. The longest-running shoot at the Eddy County Shooting Range is set for Saturday, August 26th. Here's a great opportunity to network, reduce stress, and have some fun along the way. All ages are welcome. There are 2 rotations, one at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. $150 per shooter per rotation. Sponsorships are available. Registration fee includes targets, lunch, sponsored this year by Snowwell Services, a shooter gift, and a chance to win great prizes. For information, call the Artesia Chamber at 575-746-2744. The Clay's Crusher Fun Shoot, Saturday, August 26th in Artesia, New Mexico. Ad paid for by Artesia and Eddy County Lodgers Tax. Sign up online at artesiachamber.com.
Pecos Valley Production, the top-rated dispensary in New Mexico with 20 convenient locations. Visit PecosValleyProduction.com to explore a wide range of offerings near you. Pecos Valley Production is now accepting donations for back-to-school supplies at all locations. Now through August 25th, Pecos Valley Production dispensaries will be collecting school supplies needed for grades K through 12, such as pencils, pens, notebook paper, binders, and backpacks. All items received will be donated to local schools and community charities throughout the area. Together, let's ensure that that every child has the best possible start to a successful school year. Now go roll up to a PVP dispensary near you. PecosValleyProduction.com is Dairy to Dang. Support your local farmer, fresh from our farm to you. Nothing for sale, for educational purposes only. 21 and older with valid ID.
Do you struggle with acne, eczema, or worry about skin cancer? Research suggests that 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer by the age of 70, but when detected early, 99% of skin cancer cases are curable. At Epiphany Dermatology of Roswell, we place special emphasis on prevention, screening, and treatment. So schedule your annual skin exam by calling us at 575-208-7050 or by visiting our website at epiphanydermatology.com and get checked today. Prevention is key.
The Out of This World Vehicle Elimination Event is on at Roswell Nissan. For 2 big weekends, Roswell Nissan is throwing the biggest party in the galaxy with free food, stuff for the kids, and your chance to win one of 2 packages that include an Area 52 laser tag group session and 2 free movies a month for a year from Galaxy 8. And that's not all. Roswell Nissan is giving away $250 cash every day at 6 p.m. from August 18th through August 26th. And great deals like a 2021 Nissan Versa for just $289 a month. The Out of This World Vehicle Elimination Event on now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Are you looking for a way to serve your community? Look no further than the New Mexico Army National Guard. Whether it's disaster relief or defending our freedoms, the New Mexico Army National Guard is always ready to serve. Gain valuable skills, receive world-class training, and be a part of a team that makes a difference. Step up and become the best version of yourself. To join the New Mexico Army National Guard, call us at 1-800-GO-GUARD. That's 1-800-GO-GUARD.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 27 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh is back with us. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Good.
Well, we're 1 week out.
Yes.
It's official 1 week notice.
Wow.
This time next week, Guy Penrod will be in town, and he's going to do an amazing concert, 7 p.m. at Grace Community Church. Good news is, if you have not purchased your general admission tickets yet, we still have tickets available.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't guarantee 1 week from tonight we will. So get them now while we have them. So.
Right. We've been asked numerous times, will we be selling them at the door? And we just can't guarantee that. I feel confident those won't be available.
Sure.
Can't guarantee they will or they won't. Don't expect that.
Yeah.
That's not a guarantee.
We've had a couple months now. There's been ample warnings, notice.
Right.
There shouldn't be a reason to wait till the day of.
That's right.
Let's go ahead and get it done this week. This is kind of this last minute. I'll keep reminding you all this week here, but this is really a cool opportunity. And for folks that aren't familiar with Guy Penrod, go do a Google search.
For sure.
And you're going to realize, oh, dang, he's a little bigger than I thought he was. And sure, if you're not into country gospel, that kind of thing, maybe he's not on your radar. But once you open it up and you're like, oh, Guy Penrod's kind of a mainstay in that, and much of the, when you. Like certain people, when you think of genres of music and you think of certain artists, well, Guy Penrod's the one you think of when you think of some of this country gospel and, especially his earlier stuff with the
Gaither Vocal
Gaither
Band.
Brothers. Yeah, my brain completely.
Yeah, the Gaither Vocal
Yeah,
Band.
and so he kind of got his fame there and then took from that and made his solo career out of it.
I think it was really cool when I, like I said, when I was. Well, I'm still part of the family, but when I was new to the family, Guy really got his first start on Music City Tonight out of Nashville.
Okay.
And one of the shows that we attended right there at Operaland, he was on with Alan Jackson at that time. And, I think that one thing that I love most about Guy, his heart for the Lord is evident. He's a true, genuine person. But humble comes to mind. And it's unique to me that many people may not know about Guy because he's so humble. But whether I said Vince Gill, whether I said Winona Naomi Judd, whether I said Dolly Parton, whether I said Garth Brooks, you name it, he's been a part of that world.
Sure.
He intentionally, he does 100% fall under the categorization through his employment of consistency of Gaither Vocal Band, but he has sang with the best of the best of the best.
Well,
he is a Gospel is his heart and soul.
Sure.
But when you talk about music, ironically, he could preach to you and sing the Bible twice on Sunday. His heart is a country man.
Sure.
He is a gospel country man. And so his peoples are certainly country peoples just as much as Christian.
Well, and this is the thing where I like you were mentioning. You mentioned Vince Gill and these big names, and I think the reason you may not know him like you know them, it's because of his own choosing. And what I mean by that is because he's got the talent and all of that, but where Vince Gill and these others went mainstream. They went and let's face it, that's where big bucks go, and that's where Guy said, I love music, but I want to keep it about my faith.
It is.
And so,
it's true.
And so,
but there's no coincidence he lives in Nashville. Frankly.
But you know what I mean?
That's
It's like
100% true.
Because he wasn't the guy that was doing all the mainstream stuff. He's like, no, I'm going to spend my time at churches and in places doing my music there.
He's the genuine guy.
And so, like, if he went the route that the other guys went, I almost think he would have probably eclipsed.
There's no,
you know what I mean?
No doubt in my mind. He has that charisma and power.
Right.
But
like he's not a household name because he doesn't want you to know he's a household name. That's kind of.
I don't believe that was ever his intent.
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
Like his part to faith and family.
Yeah,
that's his priority.
100%.
The music is just a conduit to let him get to that.
He's just incidentally blessed by the grace of God and wanting to share it. It was never his intention to be number one on all the charts.
Sure.
But I will say, too, I think the reflection of him not only for family of his own, but he considers the whole world, if you will, his family, is his investment and intention right now through his professional life to invest in talents and treasures of others. And that does not mean you have to be a gospel Christian singer.
Sure.
His label is going to invest in our future generations, and that covers all genres. So I think he's a reflection, too, of that, which I think that's so amazing. I love that people don't know who he is, but ironically, right now, people are saying, well, who is he? And if they understood, he's thrilled you don't know who, it's funny.
Well,
it's so funny.
Well, if you don't know, discover something new next Thursday.
For sure.
Come out.
Right.
If you love country music, if you love gospel music, if you just love that whole down home vibe, then come out to the show, and I guarantee you're going to be entertained. And even if you quote unquote claim yourself to be a Christian or something like that, you're just like, I love country music. I love the whole down home vibe. Well, guess what? You're going to be just as entertained at this show and who knows, maybe some of the God will rub off on you. But what I mean is, you if you're just a fan of gospel or country music or country western or just that whole genre and vibe, then you're going to love the concert on Thursday night.
He has a God-given talent and exudes this power I've never witnessed before. And when I say power, it's just the mic drop mentality that when he uses that tall, big, almost 7 foot large body frame and opens his mouth, it's a power beyond belief. And we've witnessed it in many different locations. I'm not saying that because I'm part of the family, whether we've been in Lubbock, I can't tell you how many times we've said, I really didn't know much about this guy and I wouldn't plan on going. And once you go, you don't have to be a follower of gospel music to be an appreciant of him, who he is, what he stands for. And above all, his roots are here. And I think one thing that we've missed, Mike, or we've said it a million times, but we want to remind people, our community always shows up at the end of the day. And I think we owe it to Guy Penrod because of his legacy. His parents are buried here, to show up. I've seen
and
all
he really
the time.
does this.
You know this, Mike. You know our community shows up. Well, then we better show up.
Sure. And he's really doing this as an incredible favor to us.
He really is.
I mean, the only reason he would come out here anyways is he's family.
100%.
He's on the road touring and doing this thing enough.
Yes.
By the lucky grace of God, he said, you know what? I'd be willing to do a show too while I'm here, trying to connect with family. So it kind of meets two ends for him.
That's right.
But at the same time, the only reason we get to bless the blessings of him here is because he has family.
Now, and everything seems to be a little bit harder. You and I both know that, Mike. You're on our board. For me to say I've worked my tail off is an understatement. This has been hard. this has been hard. It's one of the hardest things we've done. There's, we're not.
Well, we're the historical society. We're not concert promoters.
And we say that in unison because we are. And I've been told this. Are you in the concert business? You know what? We're in the business of raising money and doing the right thing and
this
connecting.
Is what it takes to preserve history.
And just as a reminder for everybody listening that thinks he's not, ladies and gentlemen, Guy Penrod is part of the history of Roswell. I will remind you again, his parents are buried here. His father preached here.
He's a New Mexican.
He isn't a Mexican at heart. He is, but so
he's really from the Hobbs area originally, but that's southeast New Mexico.
He isn't a Mexican.
Guess what? The Historical Society. What's the other half of the Historical Society for southeast New Mexico?
That's right.
Guess where Hobbs is?
But his grandmother's buried here. His parents are buried here. Yeah. That alone puts him as part of Roswell.
Absolutely.
So don't forget that. He is part of our history. And you know what else? He takes history very seriously. And every time he comes, he's going to be asking those questions to connect the dots. And he has those John LeMay books, and he's reminding his band of the history of this area.
Cool.
And they will be part of us, and his band will be reminded about not just what everybody, all the whole world knows about Roswell, but what our rich and true history is. Guarantee you we're going to have that conversation, and that's why it's just part of our connection. So the way I see it, we're going to invest in our history with them, and they're going to take it back to Tennessee. And that's what this process is all about. So please support. We've got expenses. If you say, I don't care to give tickets, but you could just help support in ways. We do need some sponsors to cover our last-minute expenses. And by the way, every single sponsor to date has made us debt-free, if you will,
awesome.
So far. Yay!
Thank you to the supporters, big time. Yeah.
I mean, there's a huge amount of them, and I don't want to insult one without naming them all, and I can't think of them. What I do love is many of them are just silent sponsors honoring a church. I'll give you a perfect example. We have a very generous donor that made a donation, and he said, you know what? I don't want my name on that donation. I just want to celebrate Waymaker Church. Boom. That's awesome.
Excellent. Yeah.
That's a perfect
celebrate our
example.
Community through this, and this is what it's about.
People honoring all churches, supporting churches. That's what this is all about too.
Yeah.
So
and that's another thing we forget sometimes. We have a lot of churches, a lot of Christian churches in town and everything.
We have a lot.
But there's a common denominator.
Yes.
All of you believe in God. Yes. Same God we all do. Hey, let's get together for a shindig. It don't matter what church is at.
That's right.
We're all celebrating God and life.
That's right.
And whether your God does it this way or this way, we're all, you know what I mean?
Right. That's right. So we do want to challenge other churches. If you're part of a small group, prayer group, little group, Sunday school group, call your group up, say, let's together buy 10 tickets. If you need a discount or something, we're all in. Let's be clear. This isn't all about money. This is a fundraiser. But we've been blessed and we want to share. If you can't afford a ticket, I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody is listening and they say, for one reason or another, I can't afford a ticket, 100%, you call the Historical Society. It's 622-8333.
We'll find a way.
We would be honored to pay it forward a ticket because I do.
We have some generous people. We do have some generous
We
folks.
have some generous people, and I just have some tickets right here.
Yeah, we got some we'll give away here. Thanks to people that were kind enough to say. And basically, someone said, well, we have a Golden Circle opportunity.
Golden Circle opportunity.
One of our
Golden Circle opportunity.
Which is in the VIP section there, right up front. Now,
well, it's not that, like, we have, then let me just clear, because somebody said, okay, I'm a little bit confused. Family's going to sit up front.
Yes.
We've got some sponsor sections that for our generous sponsors, and I'm thankful to say they're filling up a couple of rows through sponsors.
That's a good thing.
But the Golden Circle area is right there in the center.
Yeah.
And it's great tickets. This isn't like a reserved number ticket, but we have a generous donor straight up that said, I can't attend. And so we want to pay it forward our tickets. So
we're going to give them away.
106.5 is going to have some great opportunity for 2 Golden Circle tickets.
So sometime between now and next, we'll give you time. Don't worry. But between now and the concert next week, we're going to give those away here on the La Radio.
Yeah.
So
and then also we have 2 general admission in the Historical Society. Just want to say thank you to 106.5. Hands down, wouldn't be possible without you guys.
We're glad to be helping.
106.5's got some cool tickets.
Well, thank you very much. We're glad to be a help, and that's why this is what we do. So we're and this is the thing we this is because like you said, we have so many generous folks that paid forward for these things. We really
have.
And we get it, and here's why. Because some of these folks are like, I'm not a gospel person. That's right. I like whatever.
I don't really listen. That's not my cup of
what
tea.
they do support is what the Historical Society does, and they get that. And yes, at the end of the day, this whole event is to help keep that archive facility going and keeping the museum going.
Finish
and all
the
of
grounds
that
project.
And this is why we do what we do on this.
Yep.
But it's the synergy side because Guy Penrod and his place in our community and our history and what he's done internationally, you know,
you're right.
It fills
all over the world.
And so it does jive there. But yes, like we said at the beginning, we're the Historical Society. We're not a concert promoter. We're not that person at all.
And have we been to Grace like 10 to 20 times to make sure we've got it all? Yes, we have.
And we're so thankful for that partnership with Grace because the parts where we look like idiots, they can kind of help us feel, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
right.
Where we're lacking, they can help, and
That's
then the other side.
Couldn't thank Richard Jolly, Kenny Lewis, pastor, and then Jeff Everly is security. We were sitting down talking, laughing at the end of the day, and then we just had to take a moment and smell the roses. Heard that, Nelda, and we've had some people. We had to sit and smell the roses, but we said, we're planning this Guy Penrod concert. Yeah. So don't get all wound up in the details. We need to take it in and be appreciative that Guy's coming. Oh, and Lillian. Lillian said take time to smell the roses. Thank you, Lillian. We do need to take time to smell. So let me be clear on something for people that are confused saying, whose concert? Where do we go for this? It is a little bit confusing. This is the bottom line. This is an event sponsored by the Historical Society. Can you still get general admission tickets at the Historical Society? Yes. 622-8333. Text me at 575-915-4471. That's my cell phone. Or email historydirector@outlook.com. Don't you dare put it off till next week and then be angry because they were gone. That's what happened last time.
Yes.
This is it also. Tickets are available at Grace Community Church.
You can walk right in and pay for them there,
You can walk right up, but it has to be cash or check at Grace Community Church.
No digital cards or nothing.
8:30 to 4, I believe. Cards have to be handled by the Historical Society.
And general admission tickets are $30 a piece.
That's right.
So you can call them 30
and if something is keeping you from going regarding you not being able to afford it, 100% let us
reach
know.
out. We do have generous people.
If you're somebody that's saying, really, are there people that can't afford it?
Yeah.
And you just want to drop in a donation and let us, we can straight up. We were paying it forward. I was, Gary, I hope you're listening. I was on the phone with Gary yesterday, and we were paying it forward a ticket to somebody that literally held that ticket and hugged it like, this means something.
Sure.
That's priceless.
Yeah, and we have like volunteers that help us out every time and do stuff. And so you like to bless them with things like this.
Oh, for sure.
You know, because a lot of them don't have $60 for tickets or whatever.
At that particular moment, it's not about us.
Yeah.
It's about us all working together.
Yeah.
But we want to thank everybody. This has been a long road. We're at the home stretch. We've got a lot of events coming up. If you want to know more about Museum Day, Books and Blooms Day, the Heritage Dinner.
That's right around the corner here.
We've got our Heritage Dinner coming up honoring Mary Lou Glass. We will be sending out some mailers, but let me say this. We cannot afford to mail 40,000. And I really think Mary Lou Glass probably invested in 40,000 people, meaning she's helped you, she's touched your life.
I would say at least.
So do not sit back and expect a mailer from everybody because we can't possibly cover everybody Mary Lou Glass has impacted. So go to our website at roswellimhistory.org to know more about the Heritage Dinner.
And we'll be sharing.
It's not an event invite only, but those are going out.
Sure.
Everything's
and we're
going
to keep getting the word out about it here on the radio, online, everywhere else. So even if you don't get the formal invite in the mail, there are many different ways you can access the information and get your tickets and everything.
I know, huge shout out to all of our museums that are going to be part of Museum Day. Yay! It's coming up. That information will come out, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram and everybody through the Roswell.
This is something that should have been done a long time ago.
I think
quite
so.
Frankly.
and I sometimes get boggled down by why we didn't do it.
Yeah.
But it is a no-brainer. We love each other and have great admiration for each other. And this is a group effort. If we as a community can embrace all of our museums, it will help us all. It will help Roswell. And it is bigger than you could ever imagine.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, what's the exact date? Do you know off the top of your head? I don't have it. I don't have it in front of me, and I forgot.
Second. No, it's all good.
But what it is basically we have a community of let's face it, we're a small town feel in a city in something that's a little bigger than small town.
Yes.
But we're a town of 50,000. We're blessed with so many cultural opportunities as far as museums and things like that.
We really are.
Some are through the city, some are private.
People get big eyes when we say, over 7.
It's like you're lucky if a town of this size has a museum, let alone a half dozen of them.
And it is Saturday, September 16th.
Good deal.
From 10 to 5.
So this event is to really spotlight all of our museums and things, including the Historical Society, of course, the Anderson and the Roswell Museum of Art, Walker Aviation Museum, the McBride Museum at the NIMI campus. Yes. The miniatures, the Anderson.
Yes.
All
really
the museums
excited.
that call Roswell
So,
home.
Mike, let me tell you something. Like every museum was going to have a big swag basket, right? And then we showed up for the UFO museum.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, that box of swag was so big. Like I was like, ooh. We have got great door prizes.
Good.
So you really need to mark the calendar when I say you, everybody listening. That is a no-brainer. You have to show up for this event to support all of our museums.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a huge door prize, so if you go to all of them. But even if you have time to cover a couple, and you haven't been to a couple, if you've been to ours but you haven't gone to some others, we really, really, really want our community to show up. And don't you dare say you're too busy all day. It's 10 to 5, and we did that on purpose. If you have something in the morning, come in the afternoon.
You can carve out some time in your day to go check
and
out.
there's incentives and fun things at every different location. Activities, fun things. We'll have door prizes.
It's a chance for locals to learn about what's right here in your own backyard.
For sure.
And as a person who's lived here, who has out of town friends and family, so I know what's going on. You have your friends and family come in, and sure, we all love to take them to the UFO museum at some point because that's internationally known, and love that. Keep doing that.
Yes.
But when you're tired of taking your relatives to the same museum every time they come to town, learn about the other ones that are in town.
Right,
hey,
that's
go check out the
exactly
Historical
right.
Society. Go
That's
check out the
true.
Anderson Museum. Hey, go check out the
That's
Walker
right.
Aviation Museum.
Or if you went to the Historical Society a couple of years ago, things have changed. Go back there. And while I am thinking about it, tourism, we have a tourism council meeting today. The Historical Society has hosted those meetings well beyond. I was around the Historical Society for years.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get more involved about everything that's going on in our community, whether you're a business or just want to support all activities, not just what we're talking about, come to the archive facility today at 11.
Mm-hmm.
Show up at 10:30 and learn about tour. Together we're better. We've got motels, hotels, businesses, nonprofits. We all show up just networking. The city's so supportive. Just networking on tourism, how we can be better, learn more.
Sure.
What
Well, it's
we
all
can do.
interconnected. It's
It
all
is.
connected.
And if you say you're not in the tourism business, you are because you live here and you need to represent Roswell.
Absolutely. And tourism is a part of the income of this business. Yes, we have dairy and we have, that side of things, oil and gas a little bit and stuff. But when you ask any person on the planet, do you know Roswell? They ain't talking about our cheese. They ain't talking about
right.
You know what I mean? They're
That's
talking about
right.
the aliens. So
That's right.
If that's what it takes to get the foot in the door, great.
That's right.
But guess what? Once they're in the door, then we're like, yeah, Roswell's way more than little gray men. It's
and I
different.
appreciate you mentioning something, Mike, because we could talk all day, and I know it's almost time for us to move on. But oil and gas, the Historical Society is honored to be partnering with Eric Naria and many different individuals to be a collective entity celebrating our legacy of oil and gas, and the blessings that overfloweth from that whole entity, if you will, in itself. On behalf of the Historical Society, we just want to say thank you. And by the way, we say thank you, and this is a rich legacy that we may not have all the legacy on documentation. So these legacies need to continue, and we want to be a collective entity for all this information. Eric Naria, our archive committee, and the Historical Society just wants to obtain photos, images, stories in the beginning, if you will. So if you represent that whole industry, call the society at 622-8333 and let's have an open conversation about what that means, what we would like, what we would love to see. We would love to have an exhibit in the future, just celebrating this legacy. This is one of many legacies, but we really want to give a shout out to Eric. He became a member of the Historical Society, started digging and saying, why don't we have more? Why don't we have that? And he realized something. We're at the mercy of our community. And just because you have that plethora of documentation at home or in your office.
Sure.
Doesn't mean it's in the archive facility. Those are volunteers, and we rely on people bringing that in.
And kind of a comparison. About a half dozen years ago, or so ago, we did. Our heritage dinner honoree was Excel Energy.
Yep.
PMS, is that what it was before Excel? What was it?
SPS.
SPS. I'm sorry.
SPS. No, I'm sorry. Yeah,
it was Excel when I moved here, so I don't. And part of the fun with that was we had our collection of some of this stuff.
Right. That's
but
exactly
they
right.
had their own archive of their history and stuff, and they shared with us. We're kind of looking for the same thing in the oil and gas industry.
Huge shout out to Wes. Wes is the historian for SPS Excel Energy. But whether it's dairy producers, whether it's the Gonzalez family, that allowed us the opportunity to celebrate these legacies.
But that Excel one kind of
100%
almost fits this to what we're looking for to a T, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like obviously companies that have been around for 100 plus years probably have some of their history and stuff.
But don't presume we do. And then a lot of the times,
we would love to have a copy or
somebody else moves forward through that, and we don't get this documentation. We need these collections for future generations.
Or perhaps maybe you do have things that are fragile that maybe your facilities aren't the best to keep them at.
Right.
We have climate-controlled things, and we do. We're good at preserving things.
That's right.
Maybe you can allow us to be your steward of that for you. So either way, our archives facility and the staff there would be honored to be
for sure
the curators of your keepsake.
That's for sure. Need to get those history clubs going. School started. We know that everybody's kind of getting in the groove. So we need more Valley Views, just like Valley Views got their little history clubs. Want to get history clubs started. Schools in. We really do the fourth grade school tours again, but we can expand. We are open to celebrating history through our schools, through your organizations, in any way possible. Just celebrate history, whatever that looks like to you, or if you're sitting back wondering why in the world the society's not doing something, please call us and together we'll be better and improve and do things that we hadn't thought about or whatever. You know, we're open. We're open to our supporters and listeners and any way to celebrate history.
And I always, before we let Amy go, want to remind folks that we have a lot of other services through the Historical Society that could help you that you may not necessarily think of us for. And first off is the archives facility is a rental space that can hold about 75 people. So if you got a small party or if you have a business meeting or something like it has a full kitchen. So if you have to have food on premises and stuff, we're not the best cooks, but if you got people that can cook.
We have great friends that are, though. We've got a board member.
We got friends that can cook.
We've got a board member that if you needed some catering, she might even partner with you. I'm just
that's
saying.
True. We have, but I don't want to volunteer that person's services.
No, hey, anything's possible. No, I'm just kidding.
But that is available. So if you've got maybe even a quinceañera or a birthday party or a wedding reception that's not 1,000 people, but
for sure.
And don't forget, for weddings and stuff, especially when now that we're approaching fall here or in the spring.
Beautiful.
Great photo opportunities for weddings.
Stephanie and Danielle and all of our amazing photographers, they love our facility.
The property's great for that.
Take some pictures.
To the garden
Mike, we've even got some grapevines growing on our property.
Nice.
They're beautiful.
Ooh, can we get in the wine business now?
We have beautiful photos. We're open by appointment. Don't miss the opportunity to get a private tour any way possible on that. We're still collecting loose change. Give us a call. We'll pick it up. Just, again, anything possible. And on a final note, I'm a huge sports advocate. So God bless. We support Roswell Independent School District and all of our amazing teams. This is Ralph and I's favorite time of the year to get out and show up, start
supporting our teams. It was a good week last week.
Teams.
2 wins last week. Let's see if we can do 2 more this weekend. So.
There you go.
Goddard will be at the Wool Bowl tomorrow night.
No, it's at Roswell High. It's Roswell High. Is it Roswell High?
No, Goddard. Let me think here.
Where is the time?
Where was Goddard last week? Goddard was on the road last week, weren't they?
No, Goddard was here.
Okay,
I think Roswell High is here.
Yeah, that's right. My brain's swimming
Roswell
right
High is here.
Yeah.
But just support your local or get the Roswell Independent School District website is amazing with all the athletic activities, and just show up and support our great local kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. I mean, it's not about Roswell High.
It's the other way around. Roswell's in Carlsbad. Goddard's here hosting Santa Teresa, I think.
Gotcha.
I think so.
Well, show up and support our local kids, whether you've gone to that school or not, because we just love to support our sweet kids.
Absolutely.
Doing great
come on
things.
out and root to get every Friday night.
There's Mexico Military Institute. I love it. Everything's going on.
That's kind of where we're lucky. like, because we're a two-school town,
exactly,
you're guaranteed every Friday night there's going to be a game at the Wool Bowl.
Don't you dare say there's nothing going on, because guaranteed whether it's Roswell or Goddard or New Mexico
there's only going to be
Institute.
like 1 week that it's quiet,
right?
Because they both have their bye week at the same time. So
we even love to go to just support our local kids. We're blessed, and thank you guys for covering everything.
And don't forget to get with the schools and stuff, because the way you buy tickets and all that is now digital and all that. So I know that can get a little confusing.
My husband and I called the school district.
Yeah, call them and they'll be happy to walk you through if you have issues and all that.
Coach Cooper and everything.
And I think they usually have people at the games helping.
That's right.
If you walk up
or just
and
be a good supporter of Roswell Independent School District and get that athletic ticket. I have mine.
Get the pass and you're good to go.
Get your pass, then you're covered. That's right.
Then you go in and you support the kids and the schools and the program.
It's all about our amazing community. I love Roswell. We love Roswell. It's a great community.
And then don't forget, 1 week from today, Guy Penrod at Grace Community Church. Doors open at 6. Concert will get underway at 7 p.m. Get your tickets right now through the Historical Society or swing by Grace Community Church. If you do go to Grace, you're going to have to pay cash or check. If you call Amy or get in touch with her through the Historical Society, she can do it however
100% we'll even deliver them or whatever we need to do. Be happy to do that.
But get your tickets $30 per ticket right now. General admission. Golden Circles are gone. But I'm going to give away sometime next week, so if you didn't get one, be listening for your chance.
This is the hot item. You're not going to see this anywhere else available.
You know.
This is gold, no pun intended. These are golden.
The other day, Sean and I tried some ice cream that he procured. Hidden Valley Ranch flavored ice cream. We each had a bite.
Of course you did. I'm so glad I wasn't there.
I still got some left. Anybody want to try it? I'll give you some tickets to Guy Penrod, maybe. Maybe that's what I do. You want to try some ice cream? Come and have some ice cream with us?
Oh, have a little ice cream buffet right here at 106.5.
That's right off the top of my head. I percolate, but we did have some ranch ice cream the other day. We had some left. Weirdly enough, no one's diving in to eat that, but we'll see. So who knows?
Classic.
But thank you, Amy. We'll see you next time. All right, 8:56. Let's take a quick break before we get into news. Don't go away.
There are 3 key phrases that need to be spoken on a regular basis in a healthy marriage. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, for over 20 years, Julie and I have been sharing these 3 key phrases, and here they are. I love you, I'm sorry, and I forgive you.
Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ, God forgave you.
You know, it's so easy to expect others to love us, to say I'm sorry, and to forgive us. But you know, it's really a gift that we give each other. You know, the Bible teaches us we sow and we reap. Sow into your spouse, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry. And then you'll reap a harvest in return. Someone has to start the process. Let that be you today so you can really enjoy your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Your destination for health is closer than you think. You don't have to drive hours for personalized care. You can get high-quality health care right here, close to home, at Artesia General Hospital. From hip, knee, and shoulder replacements to sports injuries, general surgery, pain management, and wound care, our providers will help you get back to doing the things you love right here in Southeast New Mexico. Artesia General Hospital is here for you when you need us. To learn more about some of our key service lines, visit artesiageneral.com/closer.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you can call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting some sunshine today, low to mid-90s on the afternoon high, but we have just enough moist air available for a few showers or thunderstorms by afternoon. Overnight, a few clouds down to a low of 70, and then we're back in the mid and upper 90s on Friday. It should be sunny. A little bit hotter on Saturday and Sunday. We're in the upper 90s both days, sunshine and a little breezy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. They sparred with each other before a packed house. Thousands on hand for last night's Republican presidential debate in Milwaukee. 8 candidates on the stage, uniting against President Biden, but also disagreeing on some key issues.
Most of the GOP contenders vowed to support Ukraine in its war with Russia, but the notable exception was Vivek Ramaswamy. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley told him he has no foreign policy experience, and it shows. When Haley called for consensus on abortion, former Vice President Mike Pence said that was the opposite of leadership, and 2 of the 8 candidates said they would not support Donald Trump if he's the party's nominee.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston says Hutchinson and Christie declined to support Mr. Trump as the nominee. The debate, hosted by and aired live on the Fox News channel. Indicted on racketeering and conspiracy charges, former President Trump plans to surrender later today in Atlanta. Rudy Giuliani says questioning an election's outcome is no crime. He turned himself in yesterday. Unemployment applications down again.
The Labor Department says the number of Americans applying for jobless benefits fell last week by 10,000 to 230,000 for the week ending August 19th. In total, about 1.7 million people were collecting unemployment benefits the week that ended August 12th. That's about 9,000 fewer than the previous week.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Russian mercenary chief Yevgeny Prigozhin and top officers of his private Wagner group are dead in a plane crash north of Moscow. This comes a few months after Prigozhin led an aborted rebellion against the Russian military establishment in Moscow. He was later exiled to Belarus. Close ally, Russian President Vladimir Putin. Watching Wall Street, the Dow down 134 points, and NASDAQ is off 124 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Great wisdom. Everybody wants cheap airfare. But where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines.
Says its second attempt to launch a spy satellite has failed again, but vowed to make another attempt in October, demonstrating willingness to endure flops to acquire a key military asset coveted by leader Kim Jong-un. The failed launch prompted neighboring Japan to issue a brief J alert, ordering some residents to evacuate to safe places as the North Korean rocket flew over its southernmost islands of Okinawa. The North's space agency says the flights of the rocket's first and second stages were normal, but the launch eventually failed. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Huge wildfires burning for days in northeastern Greece and on the fringes of the country's capital are incinerating forests and forcing more evacuations. Firefighters having to deal with strong winds as well as extremely dry conditions. News and analysis, townhall.com. As the legal wrangling goes on and on, the city declines.
Tensions flared as lawyers for San Francisco argued before an appeals court to lift an injunction prohibiting the city from clearing homeless tent encampments. Mayor London Breed joined more than 200 people outside a federal courthouse Wednesday to urge an appellate panel to lift the order. But advocates for homeless people who sued the city last year say San Francisco was not offering shelter as required by law, but threatening homeless people to move along or face arrest or citation. Frustration over homeless encampments are playing out in court in other U.S. cities. Keith Peters reporting.
Russia's TASS news agency says the arrest of Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, detained on espionage charges, has now been extended to November 30th. Gershkovich, his family, and his employer all vigorously deny the spy charges. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace Theranos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday.
Yes.
Welcome to it. Sliding into the weekend.
Sliding into them DMs, sliding on into the weekend.
Yeah. Hope your day's going well.
Indeed.
A little muggy out.
A bit. But cooler temps.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 92 today. So.
Soak it in.
Now I'm excited for Monday. Monday night, Tuesday. I'm like, 50% chance of rain, 60% chance of rain. Yeah, I want that.
Soak it in.
Yeah. I'm like, I'll skip to the weekend just to get to that.
I feel like you've reached a certain age when your answer or when your response to us getting rain is, we need it. That's like, okay, Grandpa.
It's me.
But I find myself doing that every time. Like, we sure do need it.
I like it a lot. Rain make me happy. Sit here on the porch. Rain, wash it in.
Stink make me happy. I've heard a phrase used a lot over the last 2 weeks.
Okay. And just by the public?
Well, just in general, like on different videos. There's kids now apparently are saying it's giving, like if you taste something and it gives you like hints of something, they'll say it's giving raspberries, for example.
Oh, that's bougie sound.
It's weird. I keep hearing it. It's like, is this a new thing? Is this like how people are saying it now?
It's because the lexicon of entertainment for people nowadays is watching people on TikTok doing and trying things.
Right.
And a lot of people are eating and things. It's giving me notes of ginger.
And they're dropping out the notes. They're like, it's giving honey. It's giving.
Well, they're trying to sound like they're enlightened.
Why are you doing it? Why are you saying it? It feels like you're trying to get to it faster. Like you're taking out the word notes of or hints of.
It's all people trying to make themselves sound superior in some way, shape, or form. It's all a ruse. It's all an act. All of us do it. I do it. Everybody does it. I'm a hot mess. I could say a few words and make me sound fancy. I'm a hot mess. I can do it too.
So what you're saying is it's giving bouginess.
It's trying to make people feel like they're a little more sophisticated. It's the same thing as the pinky and the tea. They just want to be like, oh, see, I'm important. And it's, see, I know big words. I'm important.
Now I'm self-conscious because I do tend to raise my pinky sometimes. I don't do it hoity-toity. It's just a natural response. I do it when I'm drinking an RC Cola. Ain't nothing fancy about that.
I'm just one of those people. I see things like, yeah, I know what you're doing. That's my whole life. Everyone's got an agenda. And the older I get, I call out everyone because I do the same things. I don't care. You do you, but don't act like you're some kind of higher level because you know a word.
I guess it's the same opinion I have with people who back into parking spaces.
Yes, I find them repugnant too.
Like, there's no reason to do what you're doing. It makes egress easier. Does it though?
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can't even do it right. It's like, did y'all ever have a coloring book when you were children?
Yeah.
None of y'all can stand the lines for anything.
And here's another thing. Since we're getting out gear grinders,
we start with the old man weather thing.
If you're going to parallel park in front of or behind me, give me a little courtesy space. I don't want to have to Austin Powers my way off the side of the building. You know what I'm saying?
I almost ran over a motorcycle because some clown thought my Jeep was a barrier for his motorcycle. Screw you.
Yeah, just give me a couple of courtesy
blocking
feet.
me in because you put your bike right on my bumper.
I know my car is small and it's really fun to get as close up to the back end of it as you can, especially at stop signs and stoplights, but just give me some space. Give me 3 steps, if you would.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of saw that time. I was like, what? Why would you do this? This is just a jerk move, what you just did, putting your bike literally behind my bumper. And there was a car was about to park in front. You were there that day.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
I started raising because they're about to box me in the parallel spot, and the lady in front of me was about to back right up on my front bumper, and I'm like, oh, hell no. And I started yelling at people. Y'all need to move, you idiots. Get out. And she started moving, and people started flustering around after I started yelling because they didn't know what to do with their hands because they're like, who's this guy just randomly yelling in the street? It annoyed me. So... Dog makes me happy.
Yeah, she's giving love.
You got to pet her.
I did. Oh,
see,
nice.
I got to pet her last time, and I did pet her this time, but
I forced my hand a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a pet you without consent.
That dog is big. I'm not forcing anything on that dog.
I'm wet now.
Come on, go ahead. You got Jaden.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I just got Turner and Hooch.
Yeah, you did. I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
That's
Turner and Hooch.
Mm-hmm.
What was the Jim Belushi version of that?
K9.
Yeah.
No, Cop and a Half.
No,
that
Cop and a Half was
that
Burt
the
Reynolds.
kid.
Yeah. I think you're right with K9.
It was K9 something though.
Yeah.
I don't
it so wanted to be Turner and Hooch, and it wasn't.
No. There's only one scene from Turner and Hooch that I honestly remember, and it's
the shoelaces,
the slobber scene.
Yeah, the shoelaces and the slobber.
All over his apartment scene.
There's a scene where he destroys the headrest of the guy of his car.
I remember that. Well, and then the end, but I don't want to remember the end because it's sad. I heard somebody talking about the movie Homeward Bound as a documentary the other day. I'm like, Sally Field was the voice of the cat. That's not a documentary.
The thing that got me about Turner and Hooch, okay, we get how you found the dog. We got it. He's kind of a stray, kind of dirty, kind of all that. But you've been hanging out with the dog the whole movie, which in the terms of the movie was probably weeks or months or whatever. Okay, you're now the dog's owner. Mm-hmm. Are you going to think about giving the dog a bath at some point?
Yeah, right.
Like, why does it still look like a homeless dog the entire movie?
Now, in fairness,
give it a bath.
It's not necessarily your dog; it's your partner. It'd be kind of like
okay, still got to be in a car with it for 30 hours on a day, and I don't want to smell it. I think I want to wash it.
If somebody had to go give Sipowicz a bath, you know.
Well, Sipowicz can bathe himself. Who can't? Ricky Schroeder can go bathe Sipowicz if he wants to, or I don't know.
I'll be honest, that's why I like cats. They're self-cleaning. You just brush them a couple of times a month and you're good.
Give Hooch a cleanup before he's out fighting crime. That's all I'm saying. Transition. Speaking of dogs.
Well played, sir.
Crystal Noble with the Rousey Humane Society will be joining us here in just a few. Gives an update on dogs and cats that are looking for homes right now. She also brought homemade honey.
Yes, this is Chipotle honey, I believe. Yeah, I'm actually going to try some now because she wanted me to try it on the air.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it on the bit.
You want to do it?
Or do you have to? Do you have to work? I mean, you got to do your thing.
I have to work, but
I mean, can you come
I'll
back
go
and do it?
And come
yeah, because I want to try it together.
Okay.
Like a team. When do twin powers activate?
Nice. I might even bring you a spoon, so you don't have to use your fingers. You don't have to go pudding raw on.
You can spoon with me anytime. It is 9:13.
As long as I get to be a little one.
Big spoon. 9:14 now. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting some sunshine today, low to mid-90s on the afternoon high, but we have just enough moist air available for a few showers or thunderstorms by afternoon. Overnight, a few clouds down to a low of 70, and then we're back in the mid and upper 90s on Friday. It should be sunny. A little bit hotter on Saturday and Sunday. We're in the upper 90s both days, sunshine and a little breezy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thanks, Steve. Currently, we better move those closer. I think that's going to happen a lot over the next 30 minutes. Currently 74 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 79% with winds currently out of the south at 8 miles per hour. We do have rain chances for this afternoon, a 20% after 3 o'clock today. Otherwise, mostly sunny and 92 degrees. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, also looking at a 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms, 9 p.m. till mainly before 9. Partly cloudy otherwise, 71 for an overnight low with south winds 5 to 10. Friday, no talk of rain, just sunny, high of 98, winds out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night for football, partly cloudy, overnight low of 69 degrees, south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, no talk of rain, just sunny, highs near 99, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Sunday, we are looking at a 20% chance for afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny and 98, 20% for Sunday night as well. And then Monday, 50% chance of showers, partly cloudy and 94, 60% chance of rain Monday night. And they throw the caveat that some of those storms could be severe. 40% chance of rain on Tuesday. And a 20% Tuesday night. So we cross your fingers. Hope for some rain. Wash your cars. Do all that thing. Yeah, do all that. All right, 9:16. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we will talk about dogs and cats. Crystal Noble will join us on the other side. Don't go away.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's worst nightmare. You know storm chasers, those out-of-town roofers that descend on neighborhoods after big storms. They come in, do a crummy job, then poof, they're gone forever. Well, a few years ago, our area had a hailstorm, and right on cue, storm chasers showed up. I was driving home from work one evening and saw one talking to an elderly lady on her porch. I said, "Not today, buddy." I did a U-turn, pulled in the driveway, and walked right up to them. I warned the woman who they were talking to, and I chased away the storm chaser. The woman's daughter called me later and said a storm chaser ripped them off a few years ago. She thanked me for stopping this one and chose Trustmark for her roof. Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's nightmare. Every homeowner's champion. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring and roof gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
The Calico Cow has moved to a new home. Visit the Calico Cow at their new home, 200 East College, behind Farley's in Roswell. Lots of exciting changes at the new Calico Cow. New LED lighting, an amazing large classroom, plus more space, which means lots of new items and an even bigger selection of fabrics. Come see it for yourself. Want to know how? Come see the cow. The Calico Cow's new home at 200 East College in Roswell.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Roswell Skin Center and Dr. Cometti are here to provide what you need for cosmetic dermatology, offering facials, peels, Botox, filler, and laser. Dr. Cometti at Roswell Skin Center invites you to become a VIP member. Receive $50 off your first treatment. Sign up for rewards at roswellskin.com.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, Crystal Noble from the Roswell Humane Society back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am enjoying the niceness, minus the mugginess.
Yeah, the muggy we could do without, but
however, if it rained more often, we'd be more adapted to the mugginess.
Yeah. So we got to take it.
We need to have a talk with Mother Nature to rain more.
That's right. We need more moisture. Yeah, I'm tired of living in the desert. Let's make a...
Let's change the desert. Let's make it an Amazon rainforest.
Let's turn it into a rainforest. Yeah, I like that idea. But in the meantime, we do what we can till that happens.
Right.
So.
We sit and wait.
Yes. For folks not familiar, Crystal joins us a couple times a month to give us an update on dogs and cats. I say pets, but generally mostly dogs and cats that are available for adoption at the Roswell Humane Society. Plus, we always talk about, because how the Humane Society it really makes most of its money is through two ways, through memberships and through the thrift store.
Yes.
Those are really the predominant main sources of income for the Humane Society. So when we're not telling you what awesome dogs and cats are looking for homes right now, we're also talking about awesome things that people dropped off to donate to sell at the thrift store, which... you go and buy new clothing or new furniture or gently used furniture, and you don't pay the brand new price for it.
No.
And all that money that you spent, that you saved on it, goes back to help pay for vet bills and litter and all the things that the Humane Society needs to operate there. So that's it in a nutshell.
Pretty much.
Good deal. Now Sean's here. We can eat honey.
Thank you for your time. Mike sums it up pretty solidly.
So if you've listened to the show at the regular, because Crystal comes in with the Humane Society, but we also have John, her husband, join us. We talk Roswell Seed, and so a lot of times we talk about some of the things that you guys do at your property there, and
right.
And one of y'all's passions is beekeeping, yes. Or one of your hobbies. I say you've gotten into the last few years is beekeeping. So yes. Bees make honey,
bee husbandry.
Otherwise, why have bees?
Yes.
They make honey.
Well, they also pollinate all of our fruits and vegetables, so we like our food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we like bees.
But one of the side products here is you get to put out honey. So
American honey. Do you guys do the full, the full suit, bee suit, or are you guys just like man up?
We have bee jackets.
Yeah.
Do you guys do the masks though, the face, headgear?
It's the headgear, and then it's basically a jacket with a veil.
Mm-hmm. So it's not like the full jumpsuit where you.
No, those things are hot.
I would imagine,
especially in the summertime.
Yeah.
And I always tell John that beekeeping should be in the wintertime because that's a winter jacket, not a summer jacket.
So of course they're all. Now, do you use the smoke?
Sometimes.
Okay.
If they're a little agitated, we do, but for the most part, they're pretty docile.
So when they say smoke, is it actually smoke or is it some steam or something?
No, you could burn a multitude of things. We use burlap.
Okay.
Really?
Because it doesn't alter the taste of the honey.
I gotcha.
So certain things you burn when you're smoking them will alter the taste of the honey.
Now, could you alter it for the better? Let's say, for example, you're burning like cedar wood chips. Would that give it maybe
kind
more
of like smoking meats?
Like
Can you smoke honey?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay.
I know you can alter it to where the bees will not finish the honey.
Bees.
Right.
So if it has a certain smell on it, they'll stop.
They'll stop producing.
So you don't want to get in there tinkering.
Yeah, it's not
too much.
It's not something you guys want to tinker with or experiment, I'd imagine.
No, that's why I did this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
this is our level of experimenting.
Yeah, this is a chipotle honey.
Chipotle honey. Yeah. And then the chipotle came from Graves Farm.
Okay. So how do you infuse the flavors into honey after you get it from the bees?
You put whatever flavor you want in the honey or in the bottom of the jar.
Mm-hmm.
You put the honey in, and you only fill it partially. and then you let it absorb, and then you turn it every single day.
Okay.
And you do that for a month.
Okay.
Wow.
And then you rotate it. And then depending on what you infused it with depends on what you, if you have to filter it out. That was filtered like 20 times.
Wow. It's definitely an arduous process.
It is.
For sure.
Labor of love.
The smell that it's given off.
Last year I did coffee honey.
Okay.
I did Badass Coffee from Albuquerque.
Right.
I did the volcanic roast.
Nice.
And so you use the actual whole coffee bean, but you leave the coffee in once you're done infusing.
Okay.
But it takes 30 days for it to fully infuse the flavor into the honey.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's giving smoke. See, I'm doing the thing now.
It's giving.
It's giving.
But it really does. It's you get that chipotle smell for that kind of smoky chili smell.
I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park right now.
Right? Staring at the
because
amber.
I'm holding the little jar.
You're holding the amber.
And I'm looking for a mosquito in there. And I'm like, yeah.
All you're going to find is chipotle.
I love the consistency. You can definitely see the flecks in the honey, so you know it's there.
I don't want to take too much because I don't want to.
Well, I was going to tell you should dip your chicken nuggets in that tonight.
I was about to say, that's what I want to save some. But I want to get a good taste of what this is like.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. That is great. That is so good.
So when I make homemade barbecue sauce, I normally use like honey, but then I'll use like chipotle powder or cayenne pepper.
The spice?
And so
is
now
subtle, but it's
all
there.
I have to do is use the chipotle honey, and I don't have to add extra seasonings because it's already infused in the honey.
Yeah. It's really good.
That is yummy.
And it's not spicy hot like a...
No, it has like a little hint.
Yeah.
But it's not like knock your socks off hot like I like things.
The quality of the honey itself is really, really good. It's top notch. That is
the rawest you can get in honey. Because when we harvest the honey, we extract it into the centrifugal. And then we strain it out into a cheesecloth with the strainer underneath it. So it strains out like any of the honeycomb or extra wax that got knocked off when it was spinning. And then it sits in a bottling bin overnight to let all the gases from the honey release. And then we bottle it.
Are you guys sell it at like the farmer's market and stuff? Or?
Just Roswell seed.
Oh, just a Roswell? Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I did today. Yeah,
that's an exclusive product right there.
We are, that is the last of what we have. But we'll be harvesting again sometime mid-September.
Okay.
So you're in about a month.
We do one more harvest.
Can I put in a special request?
Yes.
I want some honeycomb.
Okay.
Like some honey with a honeycomb in a jar or whatever. I'd love that. I just love chewing on it. That's
John hates it when it's harvest time because I'm all cutting honeycomb. And he's like, stop it.
The best.
I'm gonna pull everything together from the show earlier. You mentioned honeycomb. Mm-hmm. All I could think of is the honeycomb cereal from a kid. Honeycomb, which I hated the cereal.
Honeycomb big. Yeah.
But honeycomb had one of the coolest prizes in all of cereal prizes.
Did they?
For a hot summer there, honeycomb was putting name license plates to put on your bike.
For real?
In the honeycomb cereal. Cool. So I hated honeycomb, but I bought had my mom buy copious amounts of honeycomb
to get
a license plate to put on my bike. It said Mike.
That's pretty good.
And which goes back to our previous conversation. I was looking for my name in the thing, like when we were talking about naming kids, and you won't name them unless they're in a gift store coffee mug.
See, that right there,
or
that's
a honeycomb license plate.
Ties it all together. But that is really good. Really, really
It is
good.
tasty. It's very good.
So
I'm trying to think of ways to do things with it.
For what
you do whatever you want.
What a lot of people don't realize is when you buy raw natural honey from your local area, if you suffer from allergies like alfalfa or whatever, whatever your allergies are is probably something the honey or the bees were pollinating on to make the honey.
Gives you a little immunity.
And it gives you an immunity because bees produce an antioxidant that you can't make it.
So I should be sucking this like a...
Pretty much, yeah.
Just a teaspoon a day is all you need to make your allergies go away.
Well, then I got one. Today's covered. I just had my teaspoon for today.
Thanks, Dr. Noble.
To keep the colds away from the fall seasons changing.
There you go.
Chilies are full of antioxidants too, so this is a jar. This is health food.
It's a jar of medicine.
That's right.
There you go.
Dr. Noble, everybody.
There you go. Love it. We could turn.
Leave a wet spot. She's got one jowl up.
She's leaving her mark.
Yes. Well, the other part, we're not going to talk about honey for the next 20 minutes here. Jade is also back. Your sister's.
Yes, she
dog.
had her procedure yesterday.
How did she do?
And it went very well.
For folks not knowing, Crystal and John were on doing Roswell Seed business Monday, I think it was.
Yeah.
And you did a dog swap with your sister.
Yes.
Because she needs surgery, and the surgery is only available here. So anyway, long story short, dog swap. And so now we're post-surgery after this interview. So...
she's on some really nice medications that make her very sleepy.
Okay. Well, she's pretty chill today. She was a little more antsy.
She's doped.
Yeah. But she still let me pet her, so I'm good.
She's doped.
But that being said,
she's
we do want to...
politely taking a nap back here. This is, if you go to the Humane Society and you look at my office, this is what you see. She's got her blankie in her dog bed and her lamb chop whoopee, and she's out.
Good to go. That's her spot. Well, she's probably happy. As long as it's part of the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs and cats too. Just want to be in on the action half the time.
They
just want to
do.
be in the room. They don't care what you're doing. They just
don't want to
miss
see
it.
and be involved.
Yeah, whatever it is, I want to be here. So.
It's funny because normally anytime I'm doing something in the house, if I'm in the kitchen cooking, like she's right beside me or walking around with me, and then she'll walk around the corner and look and see what John's doing, and then she'll come back in the kitchen and she'll lay with me.
Yeah.
Or she'll go in there and squeak one of her squeaky toys, and then she'll bring it around the kitchen and squeak it at me like, are you paying attention?
Yeah, our cats will do that. Like if Kim and I go separate ways in the house, and one of the cats is like, all right, which one am I supposed to follow? And so a lot of times if we're like distanced, but like she'll spit a central location where she can keep an eye on both of us at the same time.
She's like, hey.
Yeah. But I've seen it where Kim and I go one way down the hall and one way the other, and they're like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Which one to go? I'm going to find.
And they're like, overload,
Yeah.
stimulating overload.
Yeah. But so if you would love to have your own little cat or dog following you around, calling you home, Humane Society would love to have you. That's the whole thing. We're just the whole game there is just trying to find
all
families that have a place in their home, in their hearts for a dog or a cat, and we want to make sure it's a good fit for the dog or the cat too. We don't want the dog or cat to be taken out of one bad situation and put in another bad situation. Otherwise, what's the point of what we're doing here? That's why when you go to the Humane Society and they say, do you have a fenced-in yard? We're going to check it. The cats are going to have to be indoor cats. We're going to make sure, because they want to make sure that they don't see this dog back at the Humane Society again. They want it back in your home and living out the rest of its life with your loving family. That's what the whole point is.
We had a customer tell us the other day that they could adopt a child from Ethiopia easier than they could adopt from us. And I told him, I said, we don't try to make it complicated, but we try to cover every base that we possibly can to limit an animal returning to our shelter.
Sure.
That it's a easily smooth transition for you adopting a new pet into your house and welcoming the new pet into your house, where it's not overstimulating and too stressful for you or them.
Sure.
So when we have, the introductions with everybody in the household, we want to make sure that that pet is going to be okay with everybody that lives in the house, because ironically, dogs and cats pick and choose who they do and don't like.
Absolutely.
If they like 4 out of 5 people in the household, we're not going to send an animal home to that household knowing that that 5th person might get bit or scratched because that dog was not, or cat was not comfortable with them. We want to make sure it is an easy transition, so that way when the animal's coming into the home, they feel comfortable, they feel warmed and welcomed and not stressed and
traumatized and
on the verge of wanting to bite somebody.
Or getting aggressive because they're confused and lost and not sure what to do next.
And then we do have, a few dogs that are a little less social with people. They're okay with all the staff, and
you got to earn their trust, basically.
Right. Basically, they're the dog that they've been shown a time or two that not everybody's a good person.
They probably were abused. Let's face it. That's probably what happened.
They're on the offensive side before they're even accepting you. So with those ones, we need to find a family that has the time and willing to do the commitment to them to help bring them out and socialize them and help them. Hi, are
Did
you
someone
joining
call
the
me?
and join, the family and just give them the time to work with them.
Good job, Hooch. the flapping reminded me of Turner Hooch. I couldn't help it.
Are you joining us?
But yeah, you're right. It is. And that's, well, and think about it in terms of, like, when you go to you see victims of domestic violence and you see how they're acting.
Right.
Animals act the same way when they're put in those situations. And then you wonder, when you see a person, a victim of domestic violence lash out or act out in a certain way, you look at them and say, well, considering what they've gone through, no wonder they're like that. It's no different with the dog or the cat. They've dealt with the same thing, and they're reacting to the environment in which they've been living in. So that's you got to understand. Once you understand that, then that changes. You just got to provide, and that's just it. The more I've learned, over the years, and it doesn't matter if it's a dog or a cat, they're going to react to how you react to it, and they're going to learn and think. So if you do things in a certain way, it's going to react that way.
Right.
If that's why, when we talk about getting a new pet, when we talk about crate training and all these different tips, it's because that's the kind of stuff that sets the table for the good habits, the good dog, the dog that you want that's doing the things you want it to do and the things that you don't want it to do.
It also, when you do the crate training, when they're first coming into a new household, that is their safe zone.
Mm-hmm.
That is their...
You're creating their own space.
Right.
And making sure they know it. So they don't treat it. And then I've said, you don't treat it as a place of punishment.
No.
You treat it as a place of saying. So when the dog does something wrong, you don't send it there to think about it. Or like you would your kids.
Get in the corner.
Yeah, like your kids would. You almost, and that's the trick with dogs and things, because you really almost have to catch them in the act so you can correct it then.
Right.
Because otherwise they won't understand what you're correcting them for. And it's like if you see dog poop on the floor and then you start yelling at the dog's like, why are you yelling at me? I don't know, what did I do? I mean, and you get people that rub the nose, and I don't know if I agree with all that, but it's telling you
when you
it's like training kids. You got to learn. You got to.
Right.
They're going to be accidents. There's going to be problems, but you establish patterns and you show them. And there's a way to correct. And to be honest, I found it's rather than yelling and getting onto the dog when they're doing wrong, do the opposite. When they do right, you go over the top to praise it, and then just kind of, I did the bad dog thing when they poop in the house, but you're not rubbing the nose and all that. You're just like, oh.
The tone of your voice, you don't have to escalate your voice to a very high pitch.
Yeah.
Just changing the tone in your voice, like using your mom and dad voice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
They get the sense of urgency out of that.
Right. And dogs even recognize facial expressions.
Mm-hmm.
Cats, I don't think they really pay attention because they don't care. They're like, eh.
But I think I'm convinced my cats know some of my facial expressions.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. After living with you for how many years? Yes.
Yeah.
But in the beginning of training, they're like,
yeah, they know. But you're right, yeah. And pets sense feelings. They sense moods. They know when you're sad, they're happy. I don't know how many times where Kim and I have an argument or something, the cats are all like, ooh, and then, when we're not having like
you're not throwing plates.
We're not calling the cops violence here, but we're having a disagreement and voices are getting a little loud or whatever. Cats know. They're like, oh dang, mom and dad are arguing. We're gonna lay low. We're not gonna pick this moment to be in our face and annoying and those kind of things.
It's funny because my husband says he's going deaf, but I think it's just selective husband hearing. And so if I'm in the kitchen and I need something and I'm hollering for him, and like he doesn't hear, like when my voice gets to that tone,
right?
The dogs stand behind me and they're like, ooh. Especially the big old Great Dane. He's like, I ain't in this one.
But they said, like, I tell you, like my cats, like I'll never forget this. Like, there was one time a couple years ago, I was kind of sick. I was flu and everything, and it was one of those deals where I went to work and then I went home, and I went right to bed and laid down. My wife wasn't there, but the cats I love, we get along and everything, but they don't sleep with me or any of those. That's not. They'll do it with my wife. I move around too much. I'm just, But that day, both cats who generally don't like to lay next to each other, at any given time both cats were like up laying on me and just like very concerned for me. And it was, I was touched, but it was one of the few times I've ever seen the two cats like, oh, he's sick. We got to help him. We got to lay on him. In their head, they're trying to help me here. And it was really cool. And that's the cool part about being a pet owner.
It's wonderful when you have a small animal that wants to comfort you.
Yeah.
When you have a 140-pound Great Dane who thinks you don't feel good and they're trying to lay on top of you. It's a little bit different, but it's the same concept.
Sure.
They can sense and feel the change in your body, and they know that they've got to be close to you to help you.
Yeah.
And they're helping you by being next to you or laying on you, or like our dog Toby. Like if I don't feel good for whatever reason, he comes and he lays his head on my leg, or like his head will be on my leg, but then his other paw, he'll be facing me, and then he'll have his paw like laying on my stomach or up here on my chest. And that's just something he has done since he was a baby.
That's cool. I love that. That's the cool part about being a pet owner. Because that's those connections that you can't organically make. You can't do it no matter how hard you try. It just has to happen organically. It literally just and the cats or the dogs or whoever your pet is, and to be honest, that's how you know your pets love you. If you want, sure, your dogs and cats yell at you, hiss at you, whatever they do their thing.
They bark, they grumble, they growl. They're like, "Argh."
But when the thing hits the fan, so to speak, when you're sick or when something, they're the first ones that are there to try to help. And
it's weird because like if you have a bad day at work, when you come home and they sense that you're just not your normal self, they do stupid things just to try to get your attention because it distracts you, and they're trying to help you come out of your funky mood.
Yeah. I'm telling you, pets. That's the cool part about being pet owners, and that's why I love them so much, and because they really do. But this is why the Humane Society is so stringent. Getting back to that part, it's because we want those moments, and we want to make sure that the pet and your family has every opportunity to make that happen. And unfortunately, and I get it, some people are like, well, just because I don't have a fence in your yard don't mean I'm a good pet owner. I get it. I understand. But if you don't have the resources, especially if you have a big dog, that dog needs to run. If you have no place for that dog to run, and you're going to have a heck of a time managing that dog, because a big dog full of energy is going to be a hellion to deal with, especially if it's a 2-year-old
German Shepherd
or any
Healer.
big breed dog that's a barrel of energy with the mindset of a puppy, and but the size of an adult dog, and
size of an adult human.
Yeah, in some cases, yeah. And so, it's no different than well, let's face it, the high school scene. The high school kid that's 6'8" and crushes people on the football field, but he's got the brain of a 16-year-old kid. He thinks like a 16-year-old kid. It's no different than the dog. The dog thinks like a 2-year-old puppy, even though it's got the size of a 30-year-old man there, the body there. That's
Yep.
And so, you got to understand that once you do, and that's why all this stuff mitigated. So we got to have the fenced-in yard. We got to have, a place like, we don't want you to just have a dog to chain up in the backyard.
No.
That's not the point of this. If you're not willing to make the pet a part of your family, and what I mean by that is interact with it, let it do things, feed it, let it stay in your house, let it, live your life with it, do the family stuff with it, then why get the animal?
Take it out, spend time with them.
And obviously with cats, feral cats, you see it. You can go to every neighborhood in this community, there's a dozen cats laying in an alley somewhere. And we have a problem with this stuff. So that's why when you adopt a cat, they're like, no, you can't take this outside. This is an indoor cat. And of course, everything's spayed or neutered before it leaves, because we do have overpopulation. This Roswell is, we all know this. Dogs, overpopulated. You want to do something, report when you see people at the Walmart parking lot selling animals and stuff. Call the cops, because that's illegal and it's harmful to the pets. And I get it. Some people, I'm not saying every single one's nefarious, but time and time again, and more often than not,
if you're going to breed an animal, you need to take the proper steps and do it the proper way, and have the license, permits, and do it legally.
9 times out of 10, those people in the parking lot had a mistake or something happened.
10 out of 10 times.
And then did it, and then, or they think that their dog isn't a source of income for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a problem with that. You know, it's one thing for these AKC, whatever. I mean, that's one thing. They have their own world. But for the average schmo that just wants a pet animal, and you're thinking, well, I'll breed my puppy off and sell off the pups, or breed my dog, sell off the puppies, make a couple $100 here and there. No, that's not what your pet is for.
No.
Were you going to do that to your kid next? Is that what you're raising your kid for, so you can sell off some of its offspring? That's what you're basically, to me, that's what it sounds like. I mean, to me, that's kind of the same thing.
It really is, you know. I got a puppy factory and I got a baby factory.
Yeah. I mean, what's the difference?
No.
Kind of creepy. So.
It is. We do have 2 adoption events this weekend.
Okay.
I think Thomas Beard gave you guys the flyer because I emailed it to him with Tuesday for Ace Hardware.
I knew about it, but he has not given me a flyer.
Thomas. So we're going to be at Westlake this Saturday from 9 to 1.
Okay.
Let me pull up the flyer.
And this is Westlake Hardware there on North Main. Come on down. And by the way, don't forget, they have a great pet section there.
They really do.
If you need pet supplies and things, because you think of Ace Hardware, you think of, I need some nails, or home decor, knickknacks, Christmas gifts, weirdly enough.
Barbecue
barbecue stuff.
All kinds of stuff.
But they have a great pets section too.
So this Saturday, we're going to be there 9 to 1. This is National Dog Day. So it's National Pet Day or Adoption Month.
Okay.
And it's also National Doggy Ice Cream Day.
Ooh, so will there be some doggy ice cream treats?
There's going to be doggy ice cream and toy giveaways.
Okay, now the doggy ice cream's for your dogs.
Yes.
Not your humans.
No, so what they're doing is they have these special bowls that when you take your pet there, they're going, if you're okay with it, they're going to scoop some into a bowl and give it to you to give to your dog.
Cool.
There.
Good.
They're doing $1 hot dogs.
But if you want to try to eat it yourself,
it tastes crap.
It tastes like garbage, but you knock yourself out, and it's not going to kill you. But when you're saying, don't get the free ice cream at Westlake, it tastes like crap, it's because it's not for you. It's for the dogs.
Yes. Yes. They're going to have $1 hot dogs from Farmers Country Market donated. Ground in Roswell is going to be there for drinks. She's going to have coffees, lattes, teas, all kinds of stuff. Then the Alien Jeep Club is going to be there.
Oh, cool.
They're also having a Valley Vintage Car Club.
So the car show is going to be out there? So come for the dog, or come for the dogs, stay for the cars kind of thing.
Yes. And then Pampered Paws is going to be there. It's a mobile grooming, and she's going to be offering nail trimmings.
Awesome.
And they've got some other stuff scheduled, too.
And it's from 9 to 1 on Saturday.
9 to 1 on Saturday. We will be there.
At Westlake Hardware on North Main. Come on out. Come do some shopping. Come help out the Humane Society. And I'm assuming if you buy a hot dog, the proceeds go to the Humane Society to help pay for.
And then the Jeep Club, everybody that's in the Alien Jeep Club, they have a registration fee to pay to go, and the registration fee is being donated to us as well.
Awesome. That's nice. Thanks to the Jeep Club for getting involved there.
Yes, and we also have Petco from 10 to 2 on the same day for the exact same purpose, National Dog Day, Adoption Day. And so go stop, get your dog some ice cream, get a hot dog.
Nice.
Walk it around Ace Hardware, buy some stuff.
Yeah.
And then go up to Petco.
Head on over to Petco. Do you guys have any, I haven't been in Petco in a while.
We don't have any cats in there.
Okay. I haven't been in there a while.
Because the habitat that we have there is one from back when Petco first opened.
Okay.
And so it has...
Needs some renovations.
It needs it replaced.
Gotcha.
But because when they were getting ready to replace it for us, COVID happened, and then a lot of sales dropped, and then they did the store reset and changed to everything all natural. So we just haven't been able to get a new one there yet. But it is still in the process.
It's in the works. It's in the...
Because unfortunately, they're not cheap. That unit that was there 15 years ago was $7,000.
Oofa.
And so they've got a lot better updated and modernized, and you learn some things after you create stuff. So they're about $10,000 to $12,000 now.
Wow. Is it because of a niche market thing, or like
it's because of how they have to build them and the materials that they have to use, so that way we can properly clean and sanitize them.
Okay.
That material's not cheap.
I was just that's the part I was like, what cost do you just? Because in essence, you're building a pen. I was like, what a $10,000 pen? What is that consist
Well,
of?
they use plexiglass instead of glass.
Okay.
And ironically, plexiglass is more expensive than regular glass. And then they have to use galvanized metal or stainless steel, so that way it won't rust. And then they weld it together, and then they have a little hidey in the back, so that way the cats can have their privacy for potty and stuff.
Sure.
So it's,
or just tired of looking at people, wants a space to get away. Yeah.
Right. And it is a lot bigger than that one there.
Okay.
So that does take into account.
So we'll be able to put more cats in it, or just the cats will have more?
It's bigger for each cat.
Gotcha. So it'd be the same amount of cats. They just have more room to roam, so to speak. Okay. Yeah, and if I remember right, I don't think all cats got equal space in that one.
No.
Like there was one that got like a lot of room, and the other two were kind of shortchanged a little bit, if I rember right. Yeah.
Yes.
That's where I saw my Hannah. My Hannah was, that's where I saw her. First time I saw my Hannah was in that cage at Petco.
So that's something that we are still in the process of working on. So hopefully that will be able to be done now that things are picking back up.
By the way, if you want another cathartic 20 minutes while you're at Petco, just sit in the fish section and watch the fish go around for a little bit.
Oh, I could stay there all day.
Yeah, I know. It's very cathartic. You just kind of sit there and watch the fish. And I get it. Like I've never owned a fish tank, but once I get in that area, I get why people have a fish tank. You know,
I miss, that's one thing that I do miss is having my fish tank in the bedroom, because that is like the most soothingest sound to sleep to at night is the water running from the filter.
Of the air in the water and all that. Yeah. Yeah. Thomas, he's a big fish guy. He has his fish tank, and he's all into it. And it's a lot of work to own a fish tank. Put it this way. Anybody that wants to get fish thinking it'd be easier to take care of than a dog or a cat, you're way wrong.
It's harder.
Fish tank is way harder because
pH balance.
Put it this way. Depending on the size of your tank, like if you have like a 50 or 100-gallon tank, at least once a month, and it's probably more than that, you're going to spend an entire day vacuuming and scrubbing and cleaning that thing to get all the algae. And it's not just a process. You got to lower the water. And depending on where your tank is, how easy is it to get water to it? You know, do you have to run hoses about 20 different rooms to get to water to this thing? Or, you know what I mean? It's a nightmare. Based on my brother and Thomas, every person I've seen that owns fish tanks, like, and I'm like, I hear the labor intensive. I'm like, dang, I'm glad I have a cat. They're way easier.
Yeah, I had aquatic turtles, and then I had fish aquarium, and they're both very high maintenance.
But I get why people have them, because they are cool to have and very relaxing and cathartic and everything else. And I imagine, depending on the type of fish you put in there's probably a few that have personalities and stuff too. Good flip. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah. She's like, are you all done talking?
Almost. We are running out. But this Saturday, come out. Now, you'll have some dogs and stuff for folks.
Yeah, we're going to have dogs at both places at Westlake and Petco.
Okay, so 9-1 at Westlake Hardware, 10-1 at Petco. 10-2 at Petco here in Roswell there. Don't forget, how's the pets for adoption right now?
So right now, I have no kitties.
Okay, kitties are all either in quarantine or adopted.
And we have plenty of dogs.
Okay.
We do have a lot of large dogs. That is something that we have not been able to adopt out a lot of, because a lot of people, unfortunately, are wanting smaller dogs. You know, a small dog comes in and it gets adopted very quickly. A large dog does not. So we do have the majority of large dogs.
But man, they're good companions.
They are, and they're a whole lot different than a small dog. They offer you a form of like comfort that a little dog can't.
Sure.
And then little dogs offer you a form of comfort that a big dog can't. But if you are a big dog person looking for a big dog, we have about 25.
Awesome. So come meet, and they're all friendly and love. And that's the thing is, once you meet them, you fall in love with them, and then you get it. So if you're looking for a big dog, and here's the thing too, a lot of these big dogs make great family dogs. They love kids. They do. And they will probably serve your family well as protectors / shepherds / just the family, entertainment, so to speak.
reality, like with bigger dogs, they have that natural protectiveness. So when they're made to be a part of your family, they automatically protect the family.
For people that say they want to own a dog for protection, awesome, great idea. But guess what? You want it for protection? Then you need to treat it like a family member, because then it will do everything you want it to do without you having to chain it up in the backyard somewhere.
No.
It'll when someone comes near your house that dog doesn't like or recognize, guess what? That dog will stand in front of your kids or in front of you and put its life on the line if it thinks that whatever that entity is a danger to you. And you only way you recreate that is loving the dog. That's all you can do to make that happen.
Pretty much. For the thrift store, really quickly.
Yeah.
So this week, outside of the book room, there's a shelf on the right-hand side that's on a little rolling cart. All the books that are on there are devotionals.
Okay.
People who don't know what a devotional is, they are a book with daily devotional little quotes.
Message.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Those books. Oh my gosh. Those books are going to be 50 cents each this week. There's a lot of them. You can flip through, see whatever is catching your attention, and get about a dozen of them for less than $10.
Nice.
They do still have that very nice queen size wooden bed frame that's the headboard and wood footboard.
Okay.
And it has the side rails. Hey, you can't go. Not yet.
She's curious about something.
They have a few dressers, a lot of blankets. They still have a ton of school shoes for kids. Brand new, maybe worn once or twice.
So if your kid's already tore up his school shoes and need a new pair,
yes,
come down to the thrift store.
Maternity clothes, if you are expecting and you need some maternity clothes, they have like 3 entire racks full of different size maternity clothes.
You only need those for a few months, so don't buy brand new. Go on down. Yeah.
And then this week they went through every single clothes rack that they had and pulled off all the old and put out complete new clothing that they had.
Nice.
So it is completely restocked all around everywhere.
Good deal. So come by, save money. And if you'd like to donate too, please reach out. They always call, obviously if it's bigger stuff, whatever you do, don't leave it there and just drop it off at a door somewhere, because unfortunately the neighborhood comes and does bad things to it when that happens. So don't do that. So.
If you need us to pick it up, just call down to the thrift store, schedule a pickup with one of the girls or Manny, whoever answers. And then they will gladly go pick it up. Again, you don't have to be home for all items. If it's just something you could leave on the side of your house and we can go by and pick it up, they would gladly do that.
Absolutely. So please reach out. Give the phone number for both the thrift store and the
thrift store
shelter.
Is 623-9210, and the kennels are 622-8950.
RoswellHumane.org is the website. Yes. You can go there and see all the pets that are calling the Humane Society home, including the ones that are not available. If you see not available, that means they're in quarantine or they have not been adopted. They're still looking for homes. They just aren't ready to be a part of the public yet. So, and of course, if you want to be a member, kids, dogs,
you can do it on
everything,
the website as well.
And that's a great way to support the Humane Society, because all your membership fees go back into paying for vet bills and lights and bones and cleaning supplies and all the stuff that's needed.
All the fun, necessary stuff to use on a daily basis for the shelter.
And then come out this Saturday 9 to 1 at Westlake Hardware, and then from 10 to 2 at Petco here in Roswell. Come on out and come support the Humane Society. Come out for some treats and eats for the dogs and things, and a car show and everything else. A lot going on there. So, well, Crystal, as always, appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm going to find that email so I can send it to you.
Okay, thank you. And then I can hype it up some more here.
Thomas did it.
Yeah, Thomas is a bad boy. We'll yell at him.
I just sent it to him, and he's like, I'll get it over to Mike and Sean, and I was like, thank you.
Unless he just did and I ain't seen it. But anyway. All right, 9:50, close at 9:58. Quick break before the show ends. Don't go away.
We have embarked on several remodel jobs in our home over the years. No matter what home you have, it always requires updates, repairs, and improvements. Some projects are simply touch-ups. Some are some rebuilds. And if you've ever had a flood or a fire, it can be devastating and it costs you a total rebuild. People work the same way. Genesis 1:27 says, "So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them." I think what God is saying there is that when we're born, our soul is pure and without sin. Nothing's dinged, nothing's damaged. But as time goes on, we make wrong choices and choose sin over what's right. We get damaged by our bad choices. But because of God's saving grace, we can rebuild fresh and new. In 2 Corinthians, the writer tells us that the Lord can transform us back into his image with ever-increasing glory. That transformation isn't a one-time event. Christ renews us, revives us, and rebuilds us every day through his forgiving grace. No matter if your life needs a complete rebuild or if you just need a little touch-up, God is there to transform you closer to his perfect image.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Most of the problems that people have with plants comes down to basic farm management. That means knowing what to plant and when to plant it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Planting at the wrong time usually leads to disappointment and heartache, sort of like your first love. But planting at the right moment puts Mother Nature on your side, and that makes growing things easier and a whole lot more fun. So before you plant anything, come to see us at Roswell Seed, or just give it a try and hope for the best. It gives me a chance to say, I told you so.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by visiting our website, nationalguard.com/NM.